No mai, haere mai, and welcome back to Fly Palmy Arena in Palmerston North for AA Girls Pool D. Action on day one, we've got Takapuna Grammar up against Hamilton Girls High School. Angel Horrocks, and alongside me, New Zealand age group assistant coach Ryan Doubledam. Ryan, we had a nice little lunch break, got to taste some local cuisine. How are you feeling for this one?
Good, I'm looking forward to this Pool D clash. Both teams coming off the win this morning, in albeit different circumstances. Takapuna Grammar needing overtime to get past St Mary's College of Wellington, while Hamilton Girls eased to a 100-44 victory over Waimea College.
So we're going to get into the team list first for Hamilton Girls High School. Playing a bit of Venga boys, bringing the VoIPs. Number 1, Temapara Walker. Number 2, Bella Capri Nelson. Number 3, Nathea Skirkovic. Number 4, Kailani Albert Niha. 5, Caitlin Hull. 6, Hayley Forbes. 7, Anaya Nelson. 9, Altea Nordstrom. 10, Anahera Worsford. And 13, Elise Gilbert. Head coach Alana Kershaw. Assistant coach Carlin Nelson. And then on the other side for Takapuna Grammar, the first player up, if you times her score she got this morning by 4, you would have got my NFL fantasy team score. Bailey Flavel had 50. Number 4, Manaya Watson. Number 11, Nakari Nirich Ilaramendi. Apologies. Number 12, Amelia Glenn. 17, Emily Marcondes. 18, Carmen Selby. 20, Mackenzie Macarith. 21, Mariah Parker. 23, Arabella Neville. 24, Lalea Parker. 31, Amy McKenzie. And 33, Natalia Burton. Head coach, the Better Noya, aka Caitlin. Assistant coach, Joshua Choice. And manager, Pippa McKenzie. A 50-piece in the first game of the National Championships as we have a look at the referees, Amy Jo Clark and Olivia Murray. Not often you see that, Ryan Doubledam.
Not at all, particularly in such a low-scoring game. It was 78-71, so to score 50 of your 78 team's points is certainly must have done a lot of free throw shooting, a lot of three-point shooting to reach those heights. And Hamilton Girls will be thinking of a plan of how to limit that.
Well, I mean, it's tough. Such a composed player. Always a fan of watching Bailey Flavel. Good to see her dad, Judd, as well, involved. One of the members of the illustrious 2002 World Championship team that finished 4th in Indianapolis.
Yeah, coach's child always seems to have those extra set of skills when it comes to big tournament games.
I'll tell you what, we're talking this morning with Mel about favourite uniforms, and this dark navy Takapuna Grammar one is it's up there for me.
Yeah, I quite enjoy it as well, along with the St John's ones we were talking about in the earlier game. Both these teams having New Zealand players on their squads. Bailey Flavel represented New Zealand at the Under-16 Asia Cup earlier this year, where they finished 3rd and qualified for the World Cup in Mexico, while Hamilton Girls, Anaya Nelson, joined Bailey Flavel in that team, and we have Kailani Albert Niha, Temapara Walker and Elise Gilbert as players in the New Zealand Under-17 team, also known as the Junior Tall-Ferns, who leave for their tournament after the final on Saturday.
Super excited to watch this Hamilton Girls High School team. Only lost the final of the Zone 2 qualifiers to Tauranga Girls by 3. So we're talking before about teams that are going to be there or thereabouts. You said Hamilton Girls would be a team we will likely see Friday night, if not Saturday.
Yeah, I think this is one of the better teams here on the AA girls side of the draw, and are looking to get their second win of the day here and really put them in the driver's seat for coming out of Pool D as the top qualifier and getting that all-important break before the quarterfinals with the playing games these days.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a missed thing as well. Is yes, we love that they get that second opportunity, the bite at the apple, but for those top teams to get that extra games break compared to everyone else is massive. Last thought before we get into this, don't forget as well, we are also operating on Court 5. You can still find that through Whakata Māori on YouTube. So we are underway, and it's going to be Takapuna Grammar who get first bite of the cherry. And here is Bailey Flavel, straight out of an on-ball. Good double there from Hamilton Girls. But again, you've got to stop her getting that ball back, don't you, Ryan?
Absolutely, yeah. Very aggressive coverage early on Bailey Flavel, as you'd come to expect.
Just a miscommunication there. Thought her teammate was going to dive, and a good run ahead here for Hamilton Girls. And if they're going to play at that speed...
Temapata Walker doesn't quite get the shot to go as the ball falls favourably for Takapuna.
But good look, nonetheless, even though it didn't drop. As here's Flavel to the hoop, and you've got to bring that second body across, don't you, to stop her getting that open shot.
Absolutely, with no help side defender there in an empty corner, she sees the space and makes Hamilton Girls pay.
To the hoop and the finish with the left hand. Nice, easy finish. And I'm going to give Geordie some beef because there's no number 15 on our team list at the moment for Hamilton Girls.
Takapuna Grammar again taking the left-hand side of Hamilton's defence. This time they can't come up with the chocolates. There's Temapata again, strong off the rim. And this time the ball will which way is the ref going to point?
Looks like it's going to be Takapuna Grammar.
Yep, stays with Takapuna Grammar. So both teams creating early good looks. Both teams making a miss in one each.
Here's Bailey Flavel, and you wonder if she's going to bring the ball up that wide, if there's a potential chance for a trap opportunity once she crosses half court. Again, try and get the ball out of her hands as she is tied up.
Oh, look at that, 4 players around her straight away. Really going to make Bailey Flavel put some trust into her teammates and seeing if they can hit some shots.
So Takapuna Grammar winning the opening tip. It's going to be Hamilton Girls High School straight into an on-ball for Temapata Walker. And Gilbert, little fadeaway off the 1 foot, off the back of the tupper, and the tūrapa into the hands of Bailey Flavel.
I'd like to see Gilbert track that all the way to the rim there. I didn't think she needed to stop. She had good advantage.
Nice little up fake there out of the corner, step through. Bit short there from Ilaramendi. And here come Hamilton Girls High School all the way to the hoop. Good kick out, and Walker there just lost the handle on it. As Gilbert up and is blocked. And away comes Bailey Flavel for Takapuna Grammar. Puts her head down to the hoop and is fouled. And will go to the line to shoot 2. And thank you, Ryan Double Dam. That is actually Kailani Albert Neha. On the sheet as number 4 is actually number 15.
Bailey Flavel gets her first Kuru Tau Tuku.
Always a joy adding in a bit of kupu, isn't it? As she converts the rua. And Takapuna here out to a 4-2 lead. And happy to go way under on these pick and rolls.
Really passive coverage. I'd like to see Hamilton try and maybe attack some of those angles if they continue to guard the ball screen that way. Temapata doing a good job fighting over multiple wall screens for Bailey Flavel. Late in the shot clock here.
Ilaramendi with the turnaround and just leaves that one short. And they reset the shot clock. I didn't think that had hit. And Amy Jo Clark signals that that is going to be a shot clock violation. Hamilton Girls ball. Can be tough sometimes on that score bench, isn't it, Ryan, just to pick up if it has or not.
Yeah, not always the easiest job, and sometimes coaches get a little bit too frustrated when they're trying to do their best. As Elise Gilbert misses the layup, but Amy Jo Clark calls the contact. The hara committed by Takapuna.
Mariah Parker, that'll be her first. First Kuru Tautuku is long off the tapa. Tapa meaning rim. If I also talk about the Papamuri, that is the backboard, where the big GJ Gardner sign is. Supporting our referees, big offensive rebound, Caitlin Hull.
Caitlin Howell, one of those players who are often in the right place, right time, creating extra positions. Last year she was the antithesis of that player, so we'll see if she can bring the same sort of energy this year.
I know we're adding in Te Reo into our coverage run, but I didn't realise we were emptying the dictionary as well. Here is Flavel. Great pivot, shot, and converts. Easy to see why she had 50 this morning.
Just because I'm a social studies teacher doesn't mean I don't have some English.
As Gilbert again, and it seems to be a bit of an emphasis, doesn't it? Try and give it to Elise Gilbert, down low.
First sub of the game for Hamilton girls is Anahita Wolfsford. Enters the court. And Nia Nelson was short on the Kurawhiwhi Toru. Caitlin Hull.
It's where ball retention is so key, as Wolfsford, and off the Papa Moody, and good. Nice finish there from Anaya Nelson. And it's smart here, isn't it, from Hamilton girls? Just make Bailey work as much as she can, bringing the ball up.
If she scored 50 this morning, I'm assuming she would have to do a lot of work. So if they can tire her out at the end of the day, maybe they can get some errant shots.
Kurawhiwhi Toru is short. Rebound Kailani Albert Neha. And Hamilton girls happy to slow this down with good transition defense from Takapuna Grammar.
Hamilton girls creating a lot of shots around the rim early, but just cannot convert.
And we have our second jump ball. And so it's going to be a Takapuna Grammar ball, but we've noticed as well a lot of offensive rebounds. I know we don't have live stats, but it feels like a lot of offensive rebounds for Hamilton girls. Takapuna.
Absolutely, yeah, they're crashing the glass.
Need to limit that as much as possible. Almost an errant pass there, but well picked up. Hamilton
sitting in a zone, which could be quite dangerous considering Bailey Flavel's.
Amy McKenzie with the Kurawhiwhi Toru, and Takapuna Grammar, believe that was actually ruled a 2. Apologies at home.
Bailey Flavel will be happy to see that, seeing her teammates knock down some shots and hopefully create some space for the rest of the game.
Well, it's a double confidence boost, isn't it? It's a boost for their teammates knowing they can put the ball in the hoop. It's a boost for Bailey knowing the defense has to respect her teammates.
Long on the Kurawhiwhi Toru by Bailey Flavel, as Lani Alba gets her a favourite left hand but can't quite get the finish.
Bailey Flavel short again on the Kurawhiwhi Toru. And I tell you what, Ryan, even though they're not going down, they're good looks that she's generating.
Just about to say that. All 3 of her three-point attempts have been wide open. As a coach, you can't ask for much more of your best player taking wide open shots.
Great finish from Anaya Nelson. Making other commentators say, hey, look, it's not just all about Bailey in this game. There's plenty of talent on the other end to talk about.
As Caitlin Howell intercepts the ball for a steal at Temapata. Right idea. Trying to dish it off to Kailani Albert, but can't quite get the execution. As the first timeout is called, Hamilton girls opting to take a timeout. 8 apiece with 3 minutes and 46 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
What do you think the conversation is in the timeout?
I would say Hamilton, the coaches will congratulating them on the quality of looks that they're getting, but perhaps a little bit more execution needed. Defensively, perhaps getting away with Bailey Flavel not making any of her threes, and hey, we can't quite give her those quality looks too often, otherwise she will get a rhythm from both the outside and the inside. So I think that's what Hamilton will be talking about.
It's a game that, if you look at the quality of looks that we're getting on both sides, I know we're tied at 8 apiece, but could very easily be tied at 20 apiece.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. A lot of makeable layups or makeable jumpers for the quality of these players on the court. Conversely, Takapuna perhaps talking about offensive rebounds, second chance points, getting into the paint and dishing. And we have Takapuna ball baseline. A little bit of token extended pressure just to chew up some clock. Kalani Albert picks up Bailey at the half court.
Lovely behind the back dribble there from Bailey Flavel. Kick into the corner. Here's Mania Watson goes up and is fouled.
The hutter committed by Anahita Worsford.
It always amazes me, right? As a coach, you always talk about, you know, don't jump, don't jump. And yet a good old-fashioned up fake still works so efficiently.
It's that visual stimulus of the ball. You see the ball going up. Oh, yeah, I want to get a highlight block. And then all of a sudden, actually, it doesn't leave their hands. And
especially on the show court.
And now the coach is, stay on your feet, don't give up the foul.
And Watson left her earrings in. So just being asked by Amy Jo to take those out, please.
Before she shoots her second kuru tuku.
It was the earrings. She lost the balance without the earrings.
Hopefully she can regain the confidence after losing her jewellery.
Here's Forbes just working around the painted area. And offensive foul was called before that last contact. Looked like it was on the screen there on the handoff.
Subs here for Hamilton girls. Caitlin Hull re-enters the game.
Nice as well to be able to bring Temapara Walker back into it.
Quick breaks by the Hamilton bench this far. A few minutes on the court, then a quick breather, which I like to see.
Good look there for Ellaramendi, but couldn't convert, and down the other end, Hamilton girls through Kailani Albert-Neha, make no mistake.
Easy money for Kailani when she's on the left-hand side. She is lights out with that left hand.
Here is Watson, just off the right elbow, spins off some feet, body's on the floor and ends up in the hands of Ellaramendi.
Late shot clock. Got it off in time, but couldn't get the friendly roll.
And here time at Hamilton girls. A few steps, but a good finish there from Elise Gilbert.
Bit of confidence there from Elise to get one off the glass finally. May have got away for travel, but it's only travel as the rest call it. As Bailey Flavel answers down the other end. Drive into the lane and a nice finish off the glass as well.
Nice kick ahead, and again, that's probably where Hamilton girls might get Takapuna in this game as it goes on. Having those extra bodies and being able to kick ahead, forcing Takapuna to sprint back. As we see a timeout taken here by Takapuna Grammar.
Second timeout of the quarter, one apiece.
Yeah, a little chess win there for Kayla Neuer, having the luxury of being the second coach to take that timeout. But we've seen in the games this morning, not as many timeouts taken.
No, which is interesting. Like it's a long tournament. Sometimes if you have to play your more senior players longer minutes, then perhaps it's a good chance to get rest or reset some game ideas, reset where the energy of the players are going. I think again for Takapuna, it's that transition. Hamilton have only really scored in transition, so if they can get back after they score, it's going to make it tough for Hamilton.
What about defensively? Is there any schemes that you think Takapuna might end up going to as this game draws on?
Potentially. You haven't seen any extended pressure yet, but they could extend the pressure if they needed to speed it up. But yeah, my energy would be going towards getting back in defensive transition and trying to limit Hamilton's easier looks.
Here is Takapuna Grammar getting the ball back into Bailey Flavel's hands. Tell you what, she's a lot strong. She's quite strong, isn't she? Like she has quite a strong build.
Yeah, she's taken those bumps easily between Lani Albert as her primary defender at the moment, or Elise Gilbert as she switches out.
Another luxury there as well for Hamilton girls, isn't it? The ability to just keep rotating defenders on Bailey. Slow her down as Gilbert again. Left side, right hand.
Yep, nice little finish. Sometimes those quick step offhand layups is what's needed, and that time she got it to go.
Nice little handoffs here. Alara Mendy just a bit strong on the kudu whakau attempt.
The adjustment on the timeout for Hamilton girls as they get a lap in transition. As soon as Bailey gives it up, Keilani Albanihar is almost denying Bailey the basketball as best she can.
And they're a bit of a double-edged sword, aren't they, those missed lap attempts, because not only are Hamilton girls not conceding points, but it's allowing them to run out against Takapuna Grammar.
Absolutely. As we have some confusion on who the ball touched last, and it's going Takapuna ball. 6 on the clock.
No special X's and O's. Flavel, Kuruwhiwhi Toru attempt is short.
Nice rebound by Gilbert, and they're on really trying to push the ball.
Not even worrying about getting the last shot here, Hamilton girls. And despite all that, come out empty. And with 5 seconds to go, here is Flavel. Gilbert rightly sees she needs to play up, puts it up, and leaves that one short. So quarter number 1 here in girls AA action. Hamilton girls 16, Takapuna Grammar 11.
If you look at the quality of looks for both teams, Hamilton would be up, and they probably ruin their chances not to be up double digits with some really good looks around the rim. The challenge for Takapuna is how do they get the offensive flowing, knowing that Hamilton are doing their best to shut down Bailey if she gives the ball up. They're getting in the passing lanes. If she's got the ball, they're sending 2. She hasn't found her stroke from the outside yet. Oh, fall from the Kuruwhiwhi Torus. So what can they do to either get Bailey going or get some flow for some of the other players?
Yeah, it's an interesting right, because Hamilton girls, you're happy with the scoreline, but you might not be super happy with the execution because Bailey's still getting pretty quality looks. Absolutely. For a player who's getting as much attention as she is. Yeah,
absolutely. Like, you'd say all 4 of her 3-point looks were clean. Some nice layups earlier in the quarter. Yeah, how can they slow down Bailey, but offensively make the most of the opportunities they're creating, which they're doing a really good job of pushing in transition, and I'm sure that's purposeful from the Hamilton girls coaching staff.
Just on the other court, that court's been delayed, so single A boys Pool B action. John Paul the second versus Hato Pauda is yet to tip off.
Yeah, they're running a bit behind. I think that Palmy boys Nelson game didn't go overtime, but it was close. So yeah, they just slowly keep running behind time as the day progresses, which what happens at big tournaments like these with close games and fouls and injuries. So part of the process. As we look to get the second quarter underway, it will be Hamilton girls basketball after the 2 jump balls in the first quarter. Timapata Walker, Keilani Albert, Caitlin Hull, Elise Gilbert, and Anahina Worsford for Hamilton girls.
Right, so Hamilton girls will get first bite of the cherry, and what a perfectly executed drop off there.
Wing pick and roll, empty corner. Keilani getting to her left hand. Biggest defender has to help. Nice little pocket pass. Caitlin, right-handed layup. Count the basket. And
when
the foul.
Coaches talk about, set the screen and then roll and open yourself up, that's basically the blueprint, isn't it? Right
Textbook.
there.
Clip it up and turn it into a resource.
Chuck it on synergy.
Elise Gilbert gets a nice little half hook shot off the glass. And just like that, it's as the clock hasn't started. 4-2. Nice little runner for Bailey. Overall, it's 20-13. As we're getting some free basketball here as the clock's stuck at 9:51.
No one seems to recognise it. Maybe they just want the opportunity to line both live stream courts up.
Or get home late.
I think we're going home late regardless.
Bailey Flavel has got some really good body control. She's taken all these hits and still been able to keep a dribble. As I say that, she dribbles it out of bounds, but the first one was impressive.
Commentator's curse, but always gets them.
Kaylani Albert subs out for Anaya Nelson. Running behind the score bench.
Again, straight into Gilbert. Every time she's on the court, doesn't it, seems to be their main focal point. I'd be interested to see how she's going to go against Lauren Whitaker.
Yeah, it's going to
play stack.
It's going to be a tough matchup. Lauren would have the height advantage. Elise is a strong young lady. It'd be an interesting tactical matchup on how they decide to guard each other, right? How they guard each other.
Clock is back up and running. Here is Flavel. Kurufifi Toru attempt is long off the tupper. And away come Takapuna Grammar. Into the corner, 2-point attempt is long. But again, another offensive rebound. Ryan giving them another bite at the cherry.
No, Nelson long on the Kurufifi Toru.
Rebound at Mania Watson, and here is Flavel. Really prefers, doesn't she, coming off the left, back into the middle.
Makes sense, trying to get to a strong hand with the most space on the floor.
Watson got to the charge circle, gets the ball back. And one. Well, not the most aesthetic way to get a potential 3 points, Ryan, but at the end of the day, you take it, don't you?
Points are points. As Anahita Worsford gets her hands caught in the cookie jar, committing the hutter, and Mania Watson goes to the line to complete a 3-point play. Quarter to Toku.
And long on that one. It's the earrings. She made the first with the earrings.
She's going to have to perhaps put them back in and put some tape over it at half-time.
Temapara Walker loses her handle, gets it back, and nearly the softest of rolls.
Nice rebound by Nia Wilson.
Here is Hayley Forbes as we say hello to our commentary duo who just finished up on court 5. Maya Williamson.
Kaylin Hull, nice tip. 3 steals already, I think, by my unofficial statistics.
And a lovely pass and finish there for Anaya Nelson. And Hamilton girls, those looks that weren't falling in the first quarter are starting to drop now. Lovely double on Bailey, and that's a perfect trap, isn't it?
Yeah,
just as she gets over half court.
Not the place you want to be dribbling as an offensive player, because you got that half court line and the sideline as a 3rd and 4th defender, making it difficult.
What's the adjustment there? Would you put an early screen maybe a 1/3 of the way down the court?
Yeah, a couple of terrace screens.
Talk me through that.
Basically just a couple of screens in transition that if they haven't communicated well enough, they're going to get cleaned up by a screen, which should free up some space for Bailey earlier in the court so that she can get downhill earlier without the defense setting up. Quite often you see sometimes called drag screens, but earlier in the court, and they'll set double ones, and teams will play out of that these days to free up that kind of full court pressure.
Drop the knowledge, double down, as here is Caitlin Hull to the hoop. And it's loose, and Flavel wanted the kick ahead there, wasn't given. And Watson fakes the handoff to the hoop. And it takes a tumble. But again, she's done a fantastic job there, hasn't she? Taking the body contact, getting all the way to hoop, and then drawing the hara, as we have another look at it here.
Forcing a Nia Nelson into the illegal contact. Now let's see if these earrings are having such an effect on Mania Watts' free throw shooting.
And we've got to say a big thank you as well to Basketball Manawatu, looking after us as volunteers, giving the free food. And Maya, how is the macaroni cheese?
So good.
Macaroni cheese is very good, apparently. What type of cheese is used in it? Not a foodie. 2-3 look here from Takapuna Grammar, and straight away Anaya Nelson with the easy pakete.
Got some shooters on this Hamilton girls team, so it's risky playing a zone, particularly if you're not going to get out to them.
Yeah, it was quite a narrow 2-3 there, wasn't it?
Anaya Nelson, Elise Gilbert, Kelani Albert Walker can all shoot the 3. Temapara Walker.
And that is the 4th team foul on Hamilton Girls. So anything extra from here, where Takapuna draw contact, are going to go to the line, keeping themselves in this game. Flavel, finally, Kuruwhiwhi Toru is good.
Just as Hamilton Girls come out in a 2-3 zone, Takapuna right back with a 3-pointer.
Not a player you want to let get confident, do you?
Absolutely not. Not after dropping 50 piece this morning.
And it seems like everything is being around Gilbert there. And a good rebound. And Watson will bring the ball up for Takapuna Grammar. To the hoop. And guess who's there? Bailey Flavel.
She read that like a book. Knew when to crash right there. His fault. 5 points in 20 seconds from Bailey Flavel was at least Gilbert can't get the contested layup to fall.
Just slings it across there. And Flavel with the left hand draws the Hara.
This game's lost its bit of structure in the last few minutes, which is favouring Takapuna.
Absolutely.
Bailey Flavel heading to the free throw line, looking to potentially cut the lead to 4 after being down almost double digits earlier.
From recollection, it was 27-16. Then she hit the Kuruwhiwhi Toru. Then the Kuruwhakau, and now the Kuru Tautukus. Points to you at home if you're figuring out exactly what I'm saying. Is Flavel in and out on the second. And so it's going to be a 5-point game here for Hamilton Girls High School. Just over 5 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. And that just opened right up, didn't it, for Keilani Albert Neha, but couldn't get the friendly roll. If this was being played at Event Finder Stadium, that probably goes down.
Got some softer rims up there.
Way softer. Same with AUT as Flavel again. Short on the Kuruwhiwhi Toru. And the Turapa into the hands of Keilani Albert Neha.
Oh, nice pass. Right idea, just a little bit out of Nine Nelson's reach. Subs in for Takapuna as...
I believe it's Cummins. Selby Cummins into the game for Mania Watson. So Flavel again, we're likely to see straight into an on-ball. Here we go, rejects it. Little floater as Gilbert was coming across. And offensive rebounds are crucial as Elaramendi left it short. No one could pick it up, and it's going to be Hamilton Girls' ball.
Let's see what defense Takapuna set up in, looking like his zone. We'll see if Hamilton Girls can execute.
You wonder, don't you, if they could just bring those front two out maybe another third of the way and slow the initial pass.
One of the hardest things to do in a zone is rebound. Both teams are getting second chance opportunities currently.
Bodies on the floor, and Takapuna come away with it. Amy McKenzie tried to find Bailey Flavel. 2-on-1 here for Hamilton Girls. And Elise Gilbert is fouled and will go to the line. We're going to see a timeout taken by Takapuna Grammar. That'll be their second timeout. As we have another look here. The foul and just got caught up. No live stats, Ryan. Any score predictions on what's happening at the moment? Who's got what?
Well, I think Bailey's got about at least 15, maybe 18. She'd be up there.
Don't forget to, if you want to stay up to date with this tournament, head along to nz.basketball. Click on the competitions tab, Secondary School Nationals, and you can find out all about it, of course, on social media as well. Don't forget to tag us on socials at BasketballNZ and use hashtag SSNats.
Your leading scorers for Hamilton are probably looking at Elise Gilbert, Keilani Albert, and Nine Nelson.
And don't forget, Ryan, I have not forgotten. I'm still waiting for, if Ryan Doubledam was in charge of FIBA, what your rule change for basketball would be. Maya, I hope you're listening, because it's going to be coming when you and I commentate. I'm going to be asking you that question as well.
I was having a little thought to myself about perhaps, what would it look like if we had a 20-second shot clock? I don't know. It would change. It would definitely change the game. You wouldn't get as many side-to-side actions in the half court, but it would speed it up.
I've got a sponsorship idea as well for Basketball New Zealand. Josh Davis has just alerted me to it. He needs to go to Specsavers because he's claiming we need bibs in this game. I'm seeing the differential between Takapuna and Hamilton okay. He's struggling. Thoughts?
I did notice at the start of the game, I didn't say anything about it, but they are quite similar colours, and the home team is Takapuna. They're supposed to be in their lights, so it'll be interesting to see if this is their light colour, what their dark colour looks like.
They remind me a little bit. Do you remember those Miami Heat black with the white outline uniforms? I think it was 2012.
Yeah.
Strong, those vibes. Hamilton reminds me of like a Phoenix Suns off-cut colour. Completely irrelevant, but we'll go with it.
Back to the changing the rules. I'm not sure I'd be for a 4-point kind of thing like they do in the big three. What about like a power play where one of your players points is worth double for a certain time period, for a 3-minute time period in the game?
This isn't a coaching exercise, Ryan, but I like it.
You know? All right, Bailey Flavel gets double the amount of points for this 3-minute period.
Or you pick a time period and all your team's points are worth double.
Yeah.
You get a 5 minute, it's almost 2020 cricket.
Spitballing.
Here's McKenzie with the left hand. Aramendi puts the ball on the floor. Little hook shot off the Papamuri and Tapa, and Turapa ends up in the hands of Hamilton girls. The way they come through, Temapara Walker. Nelson off Papamuri.
Fast break here for Takapuna. You notice in that fast break, Kailani didn't actually help on the ball, stayed on Bailey Flavel.
You could see the confusion in Amy McKenzie's face as well. She's like, well, she's back, but she's not defending me. Do I just keep going?
Free lap.
Took the right option. Here's Flavel. Kicks it ahead. Aramendi. Oh,
Nice
great
pass.
hands and
Good
great
catch.
finish.
Nice run here by Takapuna. Down double digits. Now it's only a 3-point game.
3 minutes to play in quarter number 2. Nelson pulls up for the Kurufifi. Toru is good.
Doubles their lead.
And apologies, that last time out must have been Hamilton girls as Takapuna just take their second one.
See, right now, the coaches for Takapuna Grammar could be like, all right, we're going to use this power play. Before you know it,
What's your signal for it?
Oh.
Because you can't use this because they use that in 3x3. Oh, no, actually, no, my favorite one in 3x3 is this. They have TV timeouts.
You know the viewers can't see that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm explaining it to you. This is podcast form with just a game going on in the background.
Yeah, we could workshop some signals for the power play.
This is only day 1 as well. I'm going to be delirious by Saturday.
Game 3 of 24. 4 games a day on the live stream.
Yeah.
6 days worth.
Bit stupid, eh?
You'll be right. You love it.
That's true. Right, so we're going to get back underway. It's going to be Takapuna Grammar ball. Chance to... No, it's still going to be a double-digit lead, double possession game, even if they score here. But I think defensively they've got to be very happy, right? Because Hamilton girls, you talk about 4 New Zealand players in your team, you've kept them to 34 points at this stage.
Yeah, defensively they've limited their number of quality looks. They've been getting back, scoring like that. Beautiful by Bailey Flavel to her left hand. Allows them to look at them all sprinting back, setting up their zone, limiting some of those early quality looks. Hamilton couldn't quite convert in that first quarter.
Great extra pass again. Anaya Nelson left that short off the Tapa, and the Turapa stays with Hamilton girls.
Great cut, Caitlin. Nice find by Kailani Albany here. Caitlin Hull with a nice cut.
Almost felt like a little bit of a league offload there, didn't it? Just taking the contact, drop it off.
forcing Takapuna to commit the hara.
And that one's long off the tapa. Second Kuru Tautuku about to be taken here. 34-29 Hamilton girls. Leaves that one short. Rebound Mariah Parker. Almost a handoff action there to get the ball to Bailey. Almost sold the foul there.
Yeah, a bit hard done by it. Would have been a couple of free throws for Bailey.
You know where she learned that from as well.
Your father?
Yeah.
She should be shooting 2 free throws. Penalty? No one's noticed.
No one's noticed. And that still can come under Article 44.2 correctable errors, where after the next phase of play, whenever it stops, they can go back and award them. But I'm unsure if anyone's going to pick that up. And that's where you need your assistant coaches, isn't it, Ryan, to actually be the ones to pick that up.
We all should have clearly defined roles, so someone's responsible for ensuring that free throws are awarded when they should be.
Great kick ahead pass. And here comes Mackenzie again. And I remember the Suns used to run 8 seconds or Shaq when they signed him. This feels like 8 seconds or Bailey Flavel as she converts there.
With the Euro. That was silky smooth. Kailani Albert getting to her left hand.
I feel like the spacing for Hamilton girls at the moment is just a bit off. I mean, if they do that and they're going to get a Kuruwhiwhi Toru, then that works. But other than that, they're just a bit bunched.
Yeah. They can get into those corners, really stretch out that baseline, particularly for the girls that have hit threes, Timapata Walker and Nia Nelson, really open up the middle for Kailani and Elise Gilbert.
Flavel has found her range at the back end of this second quarter. And nearly a man down. Now, if they're going to award the 2 free throws, this is the period that they should do it. And no one has been made aware. So Article 44.2, which I've probably got wrong, thank you Campbell Masters, is going to go out the window. Yeah, you no longer come back to that.
Knowledge of the article numbers of the official rule handbook is impressive. Just
Flavel
like
again.
Flavel's body control and able to take the contact and finish.
Here is Timapata Walker out of the corner. Albert Neha with the left hand short, and a late foul call comes in. That's going to be on number 18, Carmen Selby, and Kailani. Although I was talking to the coaches pre-game, apparently everyone just calls her Lani.
Lani Albert, yep. Hopefully the scouting department has let them know that she really favours her stronger left hand, so if they take that away and force her to do some stuff she doesn't quite like as she misses both her to Kurutu Tokus.
And we can see Rosmini College coming in the background. They'll be next up on this live stream. Great defense there. 2 seconds to go. Flavel left that one short. So we're going to take a quick break here. Hamilton Girls High School 37, Takapuna Grammar 35. We'll see you on the other side.
This is an opportunity that we can't pass up. Ladies and gentlemen,
this isn't about what we wore back in the day.
going to go now. Going once, going twice, no more offers. Scored!
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
From us, it's a huge thank you to New Zealand Carbon Farming. The opportunities and the sponsorship that's been provided is pretty crucial for our school.
We're buying new volleyball gear, so volleyball nets, balls, and the stands to attach the volleyball nets to the floor. Volleyball is a very popular sport. Kids find it to be fun.
We'd just like to thank you from Tauranga High School. See.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times.
Welcome back here to Fly Palmy Arena in Palmerston North for girls AA Pool D action. Hamilton girls 37, Takapuna Grammar 35. Andrew Horrocks alongside New Zealand age group assistant coach Ryan Doubledam. Ryan, how did you find that first half?
The second quarter was much better, I thought, as a viewer than the first quarter. Bailey Fable found the groove along with the Takapuna offense. Got some stops in transition, set up their zone. Hamilton girls weathered that quite well and still created their own good looks.
We saw second quarter, Bailey's got the look she wants the whole game, but they started going down in that second quarter. What adjustment would you make if you were coaching Hamilton girls right now to really restrict Bailey and make it as tough as possible, not only for her to score, but for her to actually just get the ball?
Just wouldn't let her catch it. You go box.
Elaborate. I know there's people with high IQs listening.
A box and one.
Yep.
So it's basically 4 players play a zone in the shape of a box with different responsibilities, and you don't let Bailey catch it. Or you could just go full deny, and they win that a little bit to that when Kaylani was her primary defender. Bailey would give it up. Kaylani would then jump in the pass line lanes to discourage it back. But like all good players, it's really hard to stop them from giving it back. Getting it back.
I've only ever seen a triangle in 2 once in my life. That was on Taylor Dalton for the Premier Auckland relegation game against Epsom girls. Believe in 2019. Would you give that a go?
Was there 2 players on the one offensive player?
Yeah, so you have 2 players and you got a triangle. They still lost.
She is of that quality that if she gets really hot, then you might have to do something crazy like that. Even when she's been catching on the left-hand side of the half court, she's been generally initiating her advantage with a ball screen. So perhaps trapping out of that, just forcing her to giving it up, and then don't let her catch it after she's given it up.
Right, Takapuna ball, and it is going to be Bailey Flavel who's going to get first action with the rock. Almost trying to run like a horns drag there, weren't they? As Flavel for 2, and Ryan Doubledam tie ball game.
It's tough, man. Little gets action off the horns set, and Elise Gilbert with a nice hand in the face, a long contested 2. It's the kind of shots you live with, but when it's Bailey Flavel shooting.
Lani Albaneha, and we see straight away a face guard from Hamilton girls. So maybe it's just let Bailey get a bit of false confidence and then straight into a sprint, into a handoff, catches the ball. Now the fun begins for Takapuna Grammar. On ball screen. And my question is, did she see the cutter? But it doesn't matter, as Amy McKenzie puts that up and in.
Tie ball game here.
Albert Neha again. And she's the energy, isn't it, she at the moment, in terms of getting to the hoop for Hamilton girls.
Nice little hesitation, straight back to her left hand. Jaws the Hara.
With the Kuru Tautuku.
The advantage for Hamilton girls here, if they are going to deny Bailey for the second half, they'll be able to send multiple people at her, at least for a couple of minutes. Kailani Albany here for a couple of minutes. Temapata Walker, Anaya Nelson, Caitlin Hull. Keeps them fresh legs as Gilbert picks up the primary duties here early in the second half.
And that's what's going to make it tough, and quite smart, isn't it, from Takapuna Grammar, even though they're denying Bailey, putting that full court pressure on all the other ball handlers that don't feel as comfortable potentially bringing it up against pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. You can already see they're picking up the ball at bad parts of the court, but Bailey not flustered under the pressure, managed to get open and a little bit strong on that two-point attempt.
And that's going to stay Takapuna Grammar ball.
As Kailani Albany here might have taken a poke in the eye as she gets subbed out for
Anahera Worsford. Here we go, nice little cross-screen action. Finds Flavel on the left wing. One-on-one is stripped. And the Hara is called on Anaya Nelson.
Big grin from Anaya Nelson. Almost got a New Zealand under-16 teammate forcing into a turnover. A little bit hard done by there, but perhaps the referee saw something we didn't.
Much better switch there from Hamilton girls. Here's Mackenzie Makariff with the left hand. That one is long fight for the Tūrapa. And Worsford comes down with it. I rate the colour-coded scrunchie. Or is it a bow that she's got in her hair?
Match it up with the numbers on the back of her singlet.
And shout out to the whoever designed the uniform, making the numbers as easy as possible to read. Appreciate you. It's those little things, isn't it, Ryan? There?
Absolutely. Some of the Takapuna numbers just on the front side are a little bit difficult to read on the back side. Nice and clear.
And it almost parted there like an open sea. But we're going to have a jump ball, and that is going to be Takapuna ball. And I don't know if they switched the arrow. I don't think they switched the arrow. That should be Hamilton girls ball.
Takapuna did miss out some free throws in the first half, so maybe they're just getting even. I would like to see, you know, if they want Bailey bring up the ball, they're going to have to set us some screens to get open. Just burning a lot of energy, just working to catch the ball in the backcourt.
Makariff thinks about it and loses the ball. And Temapata Walker there just got bumped in the wrong position, and Gilbert again, Makariff. And a foul was called, and that is going to be the second team foul there on Hamilton girls. That's the other thing to note, isn't it? If they're too over-aggressive early in this quarter, it makes it much harder to be physical with Bailey Flavel. In a legal sense.
Especially if they get closer, if the game stays close and they get close to the penalty, then they're giving up free throws anytime after that.
Thought there was another chance there as well for them to trap Bailey. She's quite content bringing it up in those corners as the Kuruwhiwhi Toru is no good. Makariff with the left hand, and it's points like those, Ryan, that are just absolute gold for Takapuna Grammar.
A lot of our attention goes to Bailey Flavel on that jump shot. Hamilton almost sending two players at them and allowing for those offensive rebounding opportunities as Elise Gilbert gets an and one of her own.
Restoring the lead to 2 points. This is not the seesaw battle, I'll be honest, that I predicted.
Nor did I, but...
Here for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We needed it.
Give me all the close games. Give me all the close games.
Flavel up the left side. Comes off the on-ball, and it's a straight switch. Switch again. And maybe a little aggressive there on that switch, Ryan, with the wrong... leading with the wrong foot, which allowed her to turn the corner. Yeah,
I think you either got to come out almost perpendicular with the sidelines aggressive in that switch, or be a bit more passive so you don't get beat off the dribble as easily. one or the other. Like if Bailey hit another 10 contested mid-range, credit to you. I'd live with that, but you probably can't give up where you're that passive of a switch but then get beat off the dribble.
I'm also a little bit surprised at the moment that there isn't way more help from the weak side on the drive.
Absolutely.
Like live with the 3.
Yeah, look, give up that corner 3 set, put someone in right underneath the hoop, deterring any kind of drive. Late contest on the corner 3s.
Easy for me to say though, up in the commentary booth. It's a little bit different, isn't it, when you're down there? There's a lovely finish there from Hamilton girls. Alara Mendy down to the left side. Thought about the on ball. Goes around everyone. Finds Manai Watson in the corner. Kurufifi Toru is good, and they look good the whole way. It never looked like missing.
Any ideas where Alara Mendy's last name's from? Argentina?
Yeah, I was thinking like an
Argentina,
Argentinian exchange.
Nice contest there. For the Takapuna girls.
Puts her head down and gets stripped. And away comes Worsford with the little floater. That's long off the tapa and the turapa into the hands of Amy McKenzie. This game just feels like it's on an even keel. Something's about to tip it.
Could it be Bailey Flavel? Solid defense there by Anahita Worsford. Forcing the turnover on Bailey Flavel as she signals something to the bench. Perhaps asking for a bit of a break, we'll see.
I wonder if is it time for a timeout?
Potentially, although she looked like she held up her fingers for a number. Maybe it was a 2-3, acknowledging the 2-3 zone.
Big rebound and away come Takapuna Grammar again. As we see, absolutely no defense there on Uramendi. I can't really blame Kailani Albert Neha for that. It's the scout. As we see a timeout taken here from Hamilton girls, and there's probably a little win there, isn't it, for Takapuna Grammar?
Absolutely. Interesting how the tables are turned. In the first quarter, it was Takapuna not getting back, giving up those uncontested layouts in transition, and now it's Takapuna have really found they scored 11 points in that first quarter, and they're at 48. We're still over 5 minutes to go here in the third. Really found a good flow between scoring in transition outside of Bailey Flavel and then Bailey Flavel operating in the half court.
Well, it's that massive help, isn't it, when you get that second and that third option giving you points. We talked to this morning, she had 50 of their 78 off the top of my head.
According to the information we've got, yeah, 50 of the 78, and she would be close to perhaps 30 of the 48.
Yeah.
It would be great if, I know it would be a lot of manpower, but imagine how cool it would be to have stats for every game. I don't think you could feasibly ever get that, but...
I'm still shocked we're able to have benches for every game. 9 courts all at the same time, so that's what, 36 people on each school bench.
Your Barson 1 or 2, I think, take care of certainly the first and last rounds, and then the odd round here and there during the day, and then teams have to pull their occasional weight. And
have you done live stats before?
I have not. No, I have not.
It's not easy.
No, I could imagine that it would be difficult. You know,
and it's the order you've got to say everything in. If you say the wrong thing, it won't let you progress, which is the annoying part. But no, I'm with you. Hey, look, we talk all the time about the blossoming player numbers in this country, but if we can get stats, coaches, more referees as well, I think they've done a fantastic job thus far in this tournament. It's all those other things that if we can grow, then I agree 100%. It just makes this tournament better and better. I mean, we've got a second live stream court this year. So we've grown our commentary numbers by 2. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, under 15 nationals, the people running the organisations up there did a good job. We had about 4 people practicing on one of the games I was coaching in. So they are growing those numbers as well. And tournaments like these, you know.
Oh, Flavel, what a pass. And what a finish, Amy McKenzie.
Your Manawatu and your Wellington or Taranaki Hawke's Bay Association could be great practice to come down and work with some experienced statisticians on these sidelines.
For sure, and away 2 on 3, kick ahead pass. Here's Flavel. I don't know what that alarm is in the background.
Someone's opened a door they shouldn't have, I think.
As Watson there off the right, Tapa. And Albert Neho is fouled. So she's going to go to the line. She's impressed me. She knows what she's good at, and she continues to do it.
Yeah, she doesn't do much outside of what she knows what she's capable of. She knows her left hand's her strength. She gets to her left hand. She, for the most part, plays under control.
So she's going to shoot the first Kuru Tautuku, which she converts to bring it back to 50-46. Unsure what that is.
I think when you open the fire doors, it trips the alarm.
Oh, is it that one that's in the corner?
Potentially. A lot of the doors are alarmed like that, and it happens quite regularly.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, you can't say that we don't bring you closer to the action here at Fly Palmy Arena. It's an immersive experience. There's a big strip there from Elaramendi. Goes behind the back. Almost a little rub screen there from Anaya Watson.
Nice little grenade. Uphill handoff. There's
offensive foul called on Bailey Flavel. Whenever you talk about grenades, I always think about blowing up dribble handoffs on the side.
I could see how it would be confusing, yeah. We tend to call grenades uphill kind of handoff, uphill dishes, and playing out of that as an advantage.
As opposed to the Jersey Shore grenades. Anaya Nelson off the tupper, and an offensive rebound there for Altea Nordstrom. It's almost like there's a lid at the moment for Hamilton girls, doesn't it?
Yeah,
they're getting the looks.
Really lost. They had 37 at the half, and the 9 points in the first 7 minutes.
Oh, what a heads-up play, Timapata Walker.
Cannot turn your back to the basketball.
Anaya Watson has not watched Be Like Mike. I still remember Bow Wow doing that to Jason Kidd.
That movie's probably lost to this generation of...
100%. It's probably going to be remade at some point, right?
I'm sure they probably might have seen Coach Carter or Space Jam, but maybe not Like Mike, probably lesser known of the basketball movies.
It's the most realistic, though. So Kalani Albert Neha to the line. Feels like all the offensive firepower for Hamilton Girls High is going through her at the moment in this third quarter.
Strong off the tapa. And again, it's long. Unable to make the adjustment.
Makarif picks up her dribble. But thankfully, Bailey Flavel was on her way to help out. Good kick ahead pass to Amy McKenzie. And a big block there from Hamilton Girls, and out they come. 3-on-2 fast break, way to run the lanes. And a big block there. And which way is this foul going to go? Looks like it's going to stay this side.
Yeah, 15 black, so it's on Kailani Albert Nihara. She...
Yeah, we have a look there on the replay.
Bumps Bailey Flavel and causes a disadvantage, enough for the referee to blow the whistle.
Here is Mackenzie Makarif, keeps her dribble going, picks it up, and a good steal there from Caitlin Hull, out to the races with the left hand. And the Kuru Whakau easily put in.
50 all here. It's been an entertaining third quarter.
You could say this game's a real 50-50 at the moment, Ryan.
A real 50-50.
I'll see myself out.
In the week on high. It's only Monday.
All right, here's Flavel, right wing. Very condensed here, Takapuna. 4 players all on the same side. Step back, Kurufifi. Toru is good.
Hand in the face.
I promised I wouldn't lose my voice early in the week, but if she's going to hit shots like that, it's gone.
Bailey Flavel. She did grab her calf muscle after that, so hopefully she's not too banged up.
Timapata Walker, a lot of contact on that one. It almost looks like Makarif was the one that came out second best, as here's Manaya Watson Up ahead to the hoop, and draws the hara. And now, here's a test. This should be shooting.
Well, Takapuna bench has noticed that.
They've made up for their second quarter. Now, we don't have live stats, so we can't double check. But Ryan, you agree that they were in the bonus when they missed that 2 free throws, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Again, Watson without the earrings. I'm telling you. Do you remember those power bands in like the early 2010s?
Absolutely. Stand with your feet close together. Put the band on. Oh, look at that. I'm much more stable. What a fast, wasn't it? What an absolute fast. Timeout. First timeout. The second half taken. Takapuna Grammar takes timeout of 1:51 left in the third quarter. Down 2. Perhaps a little bit of a breather with some girls playing big minutes. And the game getting ever increasingly more physical.
Yeah, good one. I mean, you don't as well if you get momentum. If you need those breaks in the second half, you don't want to use them all in the fourth quarter. That could stop momentum. If we could just jump to the Takapuna Grammar bench, and you can see in the background, you can't quite see in the background there, but Bailey Flavel is stretching her calf out. Shout out as well to camerawoman Jess, who's bringing us all these great pictures. She's promised us a game as well in German. Can speak German. Rich is going to do some stuff in Italian for us.
And all the languages. Got the Rayo, English.
Rich is trying to claim he's lying, but I don't believe you, Rich. You can't. We only speak the truth on air.
You get...
to be fair, he wasn't on air, was he?
Coach Alex Stokovic up here, and he could converse in German. You're a full broadcast in German.
Yeah, big Borussia Dortmund fan.
Could talk about Germany's recent win at the Men's Basketball World Cup.
Did you see that coming?
No, I did not.
I can't believe they won that game when Schroeder shot 4 of 26.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, right? But hey, find a way. Winners win, right? The Wagner brothers. I did enjoy the hoop. So there was some of those European teams playing each other with some high quality hoops. Serbia in particular, watching Bogdanovic.
But yeah, the only thing I could think of when he was just shooting that badly was Josh Davis. You'll be the only person who gets this reference. But, you know, slow it down. Give the ball to Boston.
All right,
what are you doing?
Seem to have some either timing issue or potential free throw issue.
I don't know, but security is added. Well, they're putting the barriers back up behind the Takapuna bench. And so we're good to go. And it's going to be a 2-3 zone here for Takapuna Grammar. Nice little high post show there from Charlie Hull. Sorry, Caitlin Hull. Just thinking of the golfer. And away comes Bailey Nelson. Shout out to Stevie Cousins as well. I see you, brother.
Good defense on the screen by Kelani Abaniha. Tough shot by Bailey. But the attention being paid to Bailey Flavel was allowing for a lot of offensive rebounding opportunities as Timber Parter Walker goes coast to coast. The off-foot layup.
Oh, lucky there, not for a foul. So away comes Mania Watson with the spin.
Great defense. Both players fighting for the loose ball.
This game's a battle.
Yeah, real physical. It's good.
Timber Parter Walker to the hoop, into the trees, and blocked. Away comes Makarif. Flavel, 45 seconds to play.
Slowing it down, the ball screen, rejecting.
Pulls up for 2. Oh my goodness.
That's a tough shot. Rejecting the ball screen, full head of steam, stops on the line, pull up and shoot. Something's not right with her calf. She keeps reaching for it, but she's trying to fight through it. There's Albert Niha, offensive rebound, a left-hand lay.
Those are the coach killers, or what you love as a coach.
Depends on what. If you're a Takapuna fan or you're a Hamilton fan.
I'm a Hamilton fan. Can't you tell from all this commentary? Takapuna Walker, out she comes, 1 second to go. Oh, foul is called.
Oh, point.
That's a big call.
1/10 of a second on the shot clock.
Have another look at it on the action replay, sponsored by nobody. I thought, oh.
It looked like an incidental football, but nonetheless, Hamilton looking to extend their lead right before the 3-quarter break. As Walker makes their first quarter to tuku. Oh, my apologies. They were down 2. Cut it to 1. Looking at a chance to tie it up.
That flipped really quickly, didn't it? So does so, and Takapuna Grammar are just going to pass this one in. And that is going to do us for quarter number 3. It is Takapuna Grammar 58, Hamilton Girls 58. And Ryan, I tell you what, might be a good idea to have a look at the pools and how this game could affect the final standings in Pool D, with that ever elusive tiebreaker as well, if it all comes down to it.
Yeah, absolutely. If whoever comes out of this game, you know, potential for there to be a 2- or 3-way tie at the top of the pool, or a 2-way tie for 2nd and 3rd, and who's going to play who, and what pool your potential crossover be with.
So if we look at it, Pool D, tough one. Mount Albert Grammar, Hamilton Girls, Takapuna Grammar, St Mary's College in Wellington, Waimea College, and then Sacred Heart College in Lower Hutt. That pool, in the quarterfinal crossover, whoever comes second, if they win the 2v3 playoff, is going to face St Andrews College.
Likely to face St Andrews. All things being
Put it
equal.
on TikTok. I'm putting it out there. They're winning that pool. If you come second, sorry, my bad. If you come second, you're going to play off in Pool C in the 2v3 playoff. You could play either Tauranga, Napier, St Margaret's, Epsom, Hastings, or Barradine. And that team would then, as I said, cross over with St Andrews. So every game in this pool is crucial.
Yeah, as we saw earlier, Takapuna needed overtime to beat St Mary's of Wellington. So, you know, conceivably, St Mary's of Wellington could tip up Hamilton Girls, vice versa.
Could tip up Mount Albert Grammar.
Yeah, you know, those 2-way, 3-way ties, points differential all come into the factor as we look to begin the 4th quarter here at Fly Palmy Arena. We've got Mount Maunganui Girls looking on, Rosmini boys.
Yeah, of course, don't forget after this one at 7:30, we've got Rosmini versus Hamilton boys. Boys AA action. Myself, Miles Pearce, joining me in the commentary booth.
The great Miles Pearce, who'll have some words of wisdom for you, I'm sure.
Absolutely, I was with him for that Hunter. When Hunter Adam got dunked on last year by KC.
Oh, that was a dunk, wasn't it?
And it was one of those ones, you know, when you're holding your other commentator back.
Yeah, I was sitting just down there, and
that one was huge.
Massive. It was semi-final, right? Because
yeah,
Christ won it, and
you saw what Hunter did after the dunk.
Yeah,
scoreboard.
Yeah. You know, if you're going to block shots, you're probably going to get dunked on, but you also force a couple of misses, so it's a net gain rather than just giving it up. So credit to Hunter. Got double drag screens for the first couple of positions for Takapuna, and
didn't even consider Amy McKenzie in the corner with the Kuruwhiwhi Toru.
Big shot there by Takapuna. Temepara turns down the first option, still takes the Kuruwhiwhi Toru, which is long.
Too open? Do you ever consider that as a coach? Someone being too open?
Not necessarily. Too out of rhythm. Like, she probably should have just shot the first one there. She took a little dribble, wasn't quite balanced as she would like to have been on that shot.
On-ball screen there from Makareth into the second on-ball. Pulls up for the Kuruwhiwhi Toru off the right tupper.
I combined to too much time, because if you catch it and you think about it, then you shoot it. Just catch and shoot. Still
It's
wide
that
open.
rhythm.
Yeah. You always want to be in rhythm.
Little box set here for Takapuna Grammar. Screen the screener option.
Oh, nice
what a
pass.
I don't think...
Nice basketball, Takapuna Grammar.
I do not think Mariah Parker was in the court when she threw that.
Bailey Flavel showing her passing ability the last few positions.
Rosmini thought she got hit in the face, gets the ball over half court and should not have picked the ball up there. But it's all worked out. Flavel rejects and the foul is called. Now, this is where I'm interested in. What number foul was this on Anaya Nelson? Because she's had a couple on Bailey.
4? Yeah, that's a big foul.
5.
I mean,
that's 5.
no,
No? Ah, was it just straight sub?
yeah, straight sub. This is number 4. However, that does mean she has to be very cautious of how she plays defense for the next 8.5 minutes.
Especially when she's such an important offensive threat for Hamilton girls. Down 5 here at the moment.
One of the better outside threats for Hamilton girls, so should be a massive loss as this game remains in the balance. Takapuna up 5.
Flavel rejects the on-ball, no help at the rim. 7-point lead, Takapuna Grammar.
This Takapuna Grammar has been impressive. Bailey Flavel's done a really good job picking his spots. Her teammates have hit some big shots. She's put in a lot of trust, which she's needed to, into her teammates.
It's one of those great performance team versus development team dilemmas sometimes you find yourself in a coach. You have a player who is without a question outstanding in Bailey Flavel. And how do you manage that while still trying to develop the other players in your team? As Mackenzie Makarif there comes up with a big steal.
Yeah, it's a very challenging question with...
And now Nelson is blocked, but the foul is called.
It's how do you do both, right? How do you allow the team to be as competitive as possible, but while developing these players? As I believe Bailey's only year 12. 11.
I think so only 11, yeah.
So that's 2 years to go. So while competing and trying to do the best they can this year, they got 2 more years with Bailey. I'm not sure what the ages are of the other players, but you'd assume some of them are at least coming back next year. As we have a sub.
And this is big for Takapuna Grammar. Ella Mendy is fouled out. Mania Watson will come back into the game.
Auckland Grammar in the building.
You can always rely on Josh Davis to give you a stat. Amy McKenzie, 43% from 3 on 8 attempts a game at Under-17 Nationals this year. And Bailey is year 12. Thank you as well to Jordan Latoa, who is tuning in. Lovely to have your input.
43% on 8 attempts a game is...
it's quite good.
Yeah, it's very good.
So you're just confirming Bailey Flavel, year 12, so 1 more year after this.
Four-point game here in Fly Palmy Arena with 4 minutes to go. Got a Takapuna baseline out of bounds as Anahita Woolsford subs in. Temapata Walker leaves the game.
Will there be an adjustment? No, still the same play, and they had it. Watson left that short off the tupper. Who's going to come up with the two-upper? It is Amy McKenzie. Bailey Flavel. This is, I feel like, a big position in this game.
Tough look. Shot clock winding down, not a lot.
Couldn't quite create something, could she, there?
Albert Niha.
Kurufifi Toru is good.
Big shot. Might be her first of the game. I've commentated a game at Under-17s where she hit multiple threes, so she will take some confidence from that.
Flavel gets bumped. And she didn't need the Event Finder Stadium rims for that one. Lays it off glass. And here's a conundrum for you, Double Dam. I was about to say, what's it like shooting when the net's up? No issues. Kurufifi Toru and Nia Nelson. Easy as you like. 67 apiece.
She might have preferred looking at that shot.
Watson off the on-ball. Takapuna Grammar running a bit of a primary school set here. Everyone around the ball.
Oh, honeypot theory. Needed a corner 3 right there.
Watson, Kurufifi Toru is short.
Would like to have seen Mania Watson there drift to the corner as it hit the drive baseline. Shorter 3, easier pass.
Wonder as well if she's a bit banged up. I saw her ice pack that she had when she was sitting on the bench.
This is only day 1.
I know.
If it stays this physical, we're going to have some broken...
It's a war of attrition.
Broken ladies.
Secondary school nationals. Kurufifi Toru attempt, in and out. Rebound, Gilbert. Haven't heard of her much in the second half, but finds Anahera was fouled.
Nice pass after drawing 2 interior defenders.
Great tip. Caitlin Hull, 69-67. Kurufifi Toru didn't hit anything, so play on. And converts.
Yeah. Good timeout here by Takapuna. Hamilton are an 11-2 run. Well, 65-60 to Takapuna not too long ago, and a couple of threes and a few offensive rebounds, and just like that, Hamilton girls regain the lead.
It's been such a tough game for a team to really grab a stranglehold on it, hasn't it? It's kind of... No, not to say that both teams aren't playing at a high level, but they are, but no one's really rising above, if that makes sense.
Yeah, can really string those stops together as well as scores. If you here and there we're getting the 5-0, 6-0 runs, this is probably the biggest run of the game to regain this control. So we'll see what adjustments have. I believe after this, Takapuna only have 1 timeout left, which depending on
they
their...
took one at 112, didn't they?
Depending on their fatigue and how close this game remains, it could play a factor here.
It's a tough one when you talk about the last timeout, because it's one of those things that you want to save it, but then there's no point holding it if you lose the momentum at 3 minutes, because then the game's gone.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah, there's no point having 2 or 3 timeouts in the bag if you're not even in the game, when you could have used them earlier to either make adjustments or correct some habits or whatever it is to get yourself back in the game.
So Takapuna inbound. The school that is the home of Lord. And Makarov needed to come to the ball there. Away comes Gilbert. And Kurufifi Toru is good.
Same spot.
Lani Albert Neha coming alive.
2 in a row. Lee grosses 7.
Jump ball. And that is a giant momentum shifter.
Hamilton girls making all the plays here in the last 3 or so minutes of this 4th quarter. Albert Neha, nice find. Caitlin Hull.
Good wall up there from Mania Watson.
Got to keep your spacing here, Hamilton.
I love the use of the high post, though.
3 in a row.
Lani, short off the tapa, and the tūrapa goes to Takapuna Grammar into the hands of Bailey Flavel on the left wing. Rejects the on-ball. Rejected by the side of the hoop, and Ryan, it's a tough one now. If they score here, Hamilton girls, do you trust you can ride it? How long do you keep Bailey out? Obviously the game is still in the balance, but I guess there's no point in giving her 4 minutes rest, is there? But
yeah, it's a tough one. If you like, clearly something's not 100% with her calf, but how bad is it? What's her pain threshold? Is it worth, you know, fighting through it?
I think her pain threshold's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, and clearly this morning's game was tough. It had to go to overtime.
Wants the double screen, gets the drag, pulls up and is blocked by Elise Gilbert. Out come Hamilton girls. And this is the team that we thought we were going to see in the first half, but through sheer grit and determination, Takapuna have done such a good job bringing them back.
Nice left-handed finish there by Worsfoot off the glass, pushing the lead out to 9. And I believe Hamilton has taken the time now. Perhaps
That's a win there for Takapuna Grammar, I reckon.
Yeah, look, can have a little chat without burning there last time out.
And they had all the momentum. Intriguing. Coaching does funny things to people.
Absolutely, I would have just probably kept the pressure up the floor and see if you can really push us out to 10, 12, 14 and really put the game to bed as the dying stages of the fourth quarter are slowly approaching.
9-point game. Hamilton Girls 76, Takapuna Grammar 67. Day 1 of 6 here.
As Miles Pearce, your next commentating partner, enters the building.
I can't wait. Miles is great. I'm very lucky the people I get to share this commentary booth with. Get to raid some great minds.
Yeah, Miles is never short of a word. And lots of words of wisdom. You could argue that commentary was his calling over coaching. Not sure. He does a great job in the Tauihi League and other times he's commentated.
It's tough being good at multiple things, isn't it?
Can't relate, unfortunately.
Away comes Hamilton Girls with the steal and the finish. Anahera Worsfold, 11-point lead now. It was 67 apiece. It's an 11-0 run. Thought they would have trapped there.
Lots of pressure here applied by Hamilton.
Bailey Flavel.
That is so tough, man. There was a lot of contact on that baseline drive. Stops, pops, bucket.
Little on-ball screen there into the little playmaker position in the corner, and Elise Gilbert again.
Nice jumper when her feet are set. That mid-range game, she's bread and butter.
Here come Takapuna Grammar. Flavel thought about it. Still thinking about it on the step back. Likes the angle, and that's the help side I thought we were going to get earlier in the game, Ryan, from Hamilton Girls. Great job walling up.
How about Niha?
Lani, buckets.
Third of the fourth quarter. She's really come to life down the stretch and helped Hamilton build a commanding lead with just over 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
I thought that was going to drop the way this game has gone, but not to be. Here come Hamilton Girls, just over $2 and change to play. In and out. Rebound Watson.
Early shot by 9 Nelson there in the shot clock. Been up 14. They'll be looking to run some clock. And
Takapuna Grammar here asking for a timeout as well the next time they can get an opportunity with a sub. Foul is called.
Elise Gilbert committing the hutter. Takapuna will take their last timeout.
And what becomes tough as well for Takapuna Grammar, let's say best case scenario here, they hit back-to-back threes on possession, so it's 83-75. They've only used one foul in this quarter, so it becomes really, really tough. But then also the benefit, I guess, they can be super aggressive, go for steals, and if they foul, then they're not penalized by free throws.
Yeah, absolutely. And because you've only fouled once with a minute 45 to go, you can be aggressive earlier because you do need to work towards being in the bonus to stop the game if you have to. Hopefully, if you commit 2 fouls but you get 2 steals out of it as well, you're getting closer to the bonus as well as speeding up the game. We'll see what Coach Neuer has instructed her girls to do, and we'll see if Bailey Flavel's still in the game, whether they're going to make one last push or... Yep, just walking out. It'll be...
Not bad getting instructions from your dad when it ends up being Judd Flavel, isn't it?
Yeah. Handy assistant coach for the tournament.
Thank you, Geordie Walker, who's done a fantastic job with all the names and the stats, making our job a lot easier. Here is Watson off the on-ball, rejects it a second time. Big face guard on Bailey. What a finish from Anaya Watson.
Friendly roll. They need a bit of pressure here.
Flavel trying to apply that pressure. Does a good job with her body there. Pushing Lani out. Great Cox court pass. Watson gets turned.
Noah Nelson. Koto Fifi Toru, short.
That was a 2. She was inside, but jump ball, Takapuna Grammar.
Going to have to play fast and then put a lot of pressure on.
1:09 to go. Flavel asks for the on ball. She going to reject it? Yes, she does. Steps through, had Watson in the corner, doesn't matter. Clock should stop, and it does. 73-83, and it's not just the game, is it, Ryan? It's the points differential that this ends up.
Absolutely. It's probably one of the reasons why Takapuna perhaps kept their starters in for a little bit longer than...
What?
Timeout, Hamilton Girls. Up 12, 44 seconds to go.
Something's wrong because they can't do that. So that must have been Takapuna Grammar. You can't take a timeout after your own basket.
Unless we got a Takapuna timeout wrong, but...
Yeah, probably. We don't have live stats.
No, we don't.
And hey, Josh, even when we've got live stats, I still get it wrong. So, 44 seconds to play. Advance the ball.
We're relying on the score bench pointing to a certain direction. You know, everyone makes errors, so...
I thought he was pointing towards Hamilton there. I don't know. I would have thought the timeout side pointing towards the bench would be the bench, but...
Yeah, well.
Is what it is. Ball is still at the baseline. Is it getting advanced? No, it is.
So it must have been Hamilton ball then if they're not advancing it.
Can someone rule check this for me? In the last 2 minutes, can you call an offensive timeout after a basket? Because the clock stopped?
Pretty sure you still have to have possession. Maybe that could be the new rule.
Horn set. No Flavel on the floor.
Caitlin Hull with maybe a 5th or 6th steal of the game. Kailani for a 4-3.
Kailani's been huge in the second half, hasn't she?
Massive.
Probably what, 20 points at least in the second half?
9 on threes alone, couple layups. Kevin Potter Walker needed to shoot it.
So 5 seconds to go. This is still a big possession here. Watson, kick ahead. And so Takapuna Grammar keep it to 10. So Hamilton Girls High 85. Takapuna Grammar 75. Ryan Double Dam, what do you make of that one?
Look, really good fight back from Hamilton Girls, having a big lead, losing it. They started to convert the open looks. They were manufacturing in the first half, and then like a massive effort by Bailey Flavel and Takapuna Girls. You know, they're playing a lot of minutes in a physical game. Can they sustain that for 6 days, or is that going to take some toll as they move through pool play? But in the end, a really good game, right?
From Ryan Double Dam, myself, Andrew Horrocks, producer Rich, camerawoman Jess. We're going to take a quick break and be back about 7:25 for Boys AA, Rosmini College versus Hamilton Boys.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in this. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
This is a call to action.
It was really hard to try and keep it together every day.
I need some help.
Simple tools.
Is he here with his body or is he up here with his hinengaro?
For parents in need.
E tino he hena hau ki te whakapakari, i ahawano.
Tāhua. Mai te tirohanga Māori. Kids don't come with a manual with Nathan Wallace. Ki whakata Māori, me Māori Plus.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
So sponsorship from New Zealand Carbon Farming has been fantastic for our sports teams actually who went away to tournament week. We're a community who's driven by sport, but often money and the cost of travel, accommodation and uniform can be a barrier for some of our students. And to come out with a new uniform for a number of sports, particularly our basketball teams who have been away at nationals, has been uplifting for the students and for our community. The support from Carbon Farming has been wonderful.
Without them, then we wouldn't look like this.
You want your tamariki to be a part of the community. Keep getting all these feelings like he's never going to fit.
That gets pretty hard. I'm so grateful that Clara has answered those prayers.
There's just always this bias away from our tamariki. We really need this done.
Our code of compliance, it's a big thing, and we ain't gonna just stop because we're stressed.
Supakura, ki whakaata Māori me Māori Plus.
No mai, haere mai. Welcome back here to Fly Palmy Arena for the nightcap of AA Boys Pool B action. We've got Rosmini College up against Hamilton Boys. My name is Andrew Horrocks, and a big pleasure to introduce in the commentary box for the first time today, Miles Pearce.
Mate, how are you?
I'm bloody good, mate. Yourself?
I'm good, I'm good. Some great basketball being played on single A, double A, boys and girls. It's been an entertaining day at Bet, so I'm happy to be here, sitting beside you and looking forward to this matchup. It's going to be a really good one.
We're going to jump into the team list first for Hamilton Boys. Tyrese Narangione Wicks, Wakatiwai Parai, Hemi Neal, Tutainakai Morrison, Tatato Strother, Tukarehi Jeffries, Daniel Ormsby, Mason Wiltshire, Cole Villowen Thompson, Jamie Sosa and Ethan Ertzel, head coach Ricky Strother, assistant coach Carl Strother, and manager Kenneth Hallier. Then for Rosmini College, back-to-back champions in 2017 and 18, number 1 Zion Anderson, Josh Batty, Harlan Roden, Liam Bates, Nico Robertson, Jameer Reid, who is not here tonight. He is still on a plane back from under-16 Asia Champs. Chris Wiley, Noah Johns, Josh Wiley, Bart Jakovsky, Matty Dalton, Jack Davis, head coach, the legend himself, Matt Lacey, assistant coach, Sonny Tuaputa, and manager Nick Turpin. This seems to be a big matchup early on day one, which you don't always see at these championships.
No, the old saying, the luck of the draw, and you know, sometimes you get away with a couple of easy pool games, and for day one, this is going to be a really great matchup. And Rosmini have done such a great job retooling, and Matt Lacey always does a very good job. But considering the success that they had last year and some of the pieces that they don't have right now, you know, Tom Beatty, University of Hawaii, and Charlie Dalton, who's moved across to Irvine. You know, those are two huge pieces. You know, both playing for the Tuatara, and that's a lot of personnel to make up.
I think the biggest piece as well, Julius Halaifanua at the NBA Global Academy in Australia, who would still only be year 12 this year.
Big Jules, yes, he's doing a very good job. He's recently in Spain with the Global Academy,
he's
playing
everywhere.
Australia. Yeah, I know.
He was in Paris at one point. It's tough. It's tough being good at basketball, isn't it, Miles?
I wouldn't know. I would have no idea about that. But no, Jules is figuratively and literally one of the biggest pieces. But it's giving some other guys coming through to great opportunity. So it's going to be a great little matchup between, I'm actually interested in the matchup between Coach Matt Lacey and Coach Ricky Strother, because both got really high IQ guys, both very, very experienced, and that battle there is going to be entertaining. How do they move their pieces around, and what do they come out and do?
I mean, Matt Lacey, one of the hottest tickets in towns in terms of young coaches doing such a fantastic job. But for us younger generation, Ricky Strother, talk us through kind of what he's done and where he's been.
An amazing career in the Sal's NBL and Tall Black to boot. You know, he was, I'm not afraid to say that he kicked my butt on a number of occasions. You know, we didn't get many wins over Ricky's teams over the years. Played for Jeff Green for a long time in the good old days when the Waikato Titans, Waikato Pistons were around. But he is a long-time stalwart of the game and very experienced, very, very knowledgeable. So looking forward to seeing what happens.
So we're just about ready to get underway. Don't forget as well, we also have action on Court 5 this year. We've added the second live stream court. You can find that through Whakata Māori on YouTube. It's awesome, isn't it, Miles? Just, I think, you know, 10 years ago we struggled to even get one court on the live stream. Now to have two, it's awesome to see for the young kids.
Well, it's one of those things that basketball has just risen in popularity and the level of play. So it's just a really cool opportunity for people to see. And wandering around, I've already bumped into a couple of people that are here from overseas to watch some of our kids play and provide opportunities through the collegiate pathway. So, you know, for some of these people that can't get here, some whānau that can't get here, it's just another opportunity to watch our kids play and succeed on a national stage.
Rosmini and the white are going to get us underway through Josh Wiley, Of course, his brother Chris is in the team, but would you believe they're actually triplets, Miles?
That's a whole lot of handfuls, you know, growing up in that household. Sibling rivalry be damned, you know, that's a lot of fighting to do.
Tip ball on the first possession, so we get the first look at what Rosmini are going to run here. Looks like a 2-1-2 defense, almost a 1-3-1 there with the baseline runner from Hamilton Boys. And it rebound Struther, and away he comes with Hamilton Boys' first possession of this game.
It's a great, it's going to be a great thing to see how this battle goes. And I've noticed there's been a little bit of zone throughout the course of today. I'd like to see some teams get up and just pressure as we see Rosmini turn the ball over there, a little careless pass.
Do you think, how much of that do you think, though, Miles, is just a case of it being a 6-day tournament?
You know, it's a little bit of both, but if you've been watching our women, Mel Bennett was commentating with you earlier, and Ryan Doubledam, they've both been into international events recently, and Ryan's leaving with the JTFs for Papua New Guinea at the end of this tournament. You know, you get to the international stage, and I've been lucky enough to do some stuff there, but there's not a lot of that. You don't see a lot of that internationally, and particularly at the Asian Championships. You know, you watch, there's some teams that will throw in some zone as a change-up, but Korea, Japan, China, they are full court man, and they are up and in. So I'd love to see us do a little more of that here locally, just to help prepare us for the world stage.
Harlan Roden there took off, but couldn't convert on the Kurufaka'u. Little trap action there from Rosmini, but it opens up, and maybe had too much time there. Away comes Wiley to the hoop, over the hand, and one. And we have our first points. Nearly took us 2 minutes, but we're underway on the scoreboard, courtesy of Rosmini College.
I think just the little bit of nerves, big game, TV time, show court. Take everyone a little while to settle, but hopefully the ball goes through the net and we can get everything rolling.
Off the tupper there before it drops in. And everyone on the Rosmini bench has a towel, so we're going to see plenty of waving in the first half when they convert opportunities like that. Out of the on-ball into a handoff. Neil passes it on, in and out, and the tūrapa ends up in the hands of Wiltshire. And Bart Jakovsky comes down with the tūrapa, and away comes Chris Wiley for Rosmini. Good double there. Interesting place as well, Miles, to double. Not often seen on the high elbow.
No, but if you can get two guys doubling with some decent length, that can make that a very difficult pass out, particularly if you're giving up and taking away the obvious one, forcing a high pass, just put the ball in the air. Give yourself some time to take that away.
Struther, little handoff again. They're liking that action out of the on-ball, and gets fouled from Chris Wiley. Drew the Hutter, and is going to go to the line for 2 shots. And already timeout Matt Lacey, someone who's not scared to do that early, is he?
No, not at all. And sometimes it's sometimes an early timeout is great. Hey, like, boys, we've had a couple of trips up and down, but it's a settler. And, you know, with the big lead that they've got of 3-0, you know, this is possibly a time just to check in and make sure that we're all on the same page.
It's interesting. You talk about the coaching chess match. Mel Bennett talked about it's always nice when the other coach takes a timeout. You feel like you've won that initial battle. But on the other side, it actually takes a lot of courage to admit, hey, look, we need to talk about things, and I'm not happy with how things are going. Yeah,
you know what? There's so many teams. I watch a lot of games today, and there's so many teams at the moment that you can see that sometimes it's just 20% seems to be a lot. But that's just one person on the floor for your team. So if everyone's not quite in sync, sometimes you need to get one of those timeouts and just make sure we can reset and just get everyone back on, as I said, get everyone back on that same page. And hopefully that little bit of a breather and a little bit of a mental break can get everyone sorted at both ends of the floor.
So coming out of their timeout, it's going to be some Kuru Tautukus for Te Tato Strava. Long off the top on the first one. Always interesting as well for me, Miles, kids and what their pre-free throw routines are. If they're copying NBA players that have been watching, if it's something that they come up with themselves.
I don't mind what anyone does if they shoot the ball well.
Well put. So converts the second one. Hamilton boys on the board. And yeah, would you almost call, is that a 1-3-1 zone that Hamilton boys is throwing out there?
Yeah, it looks like it almost 1-3-1. Almost shout out to Tab Baldwin, who used to play a lot of Amoeba, which was very much a changing up zone. You'd think it was a 1-3-1, and then it turned into a 2-3 and a 3-2. And but it's definitely something that is been working for them. You know, we're over 3 minutes in. As we see another decent shot generated, just can't knock that down.
And Zion Anderson draws the foul. His sister Asia playing for the Northern Kahu this year in the Tauihi League. His father used to play for the New Zealand Warriors, so some great athletic stock that he's coming from as we have another look at it.
As we see that replay there, and just the Tauihi League this year was absolutely fantastic. I was lucky enough to call a couple of games for the Queens, and thoroughly enjoyed the show that was. It was so entertaining, and the level of talent that we've got, and so many WNBA players that we picked up for multiple teams. It really was. So if you haven't seen any of our Tauihi League, please, next season, get in and give it a go.
Little half-court trap here from Rosmini. A bit of false pressure, but it slows Hamilton boys down, which is probably what Matt Lacey wanted there. Almost a 3-2 zone. As Anderson was short on the closeout rebound. Struther. Gate skip pass. And off the tupper, Turapa into the hands of Josh Wiley. That was Jamie Sosa. That was off the right iron. There's Chris Wiley. Harlan Roden in the corner. Both teams just doing such a good job, aren't they, Miles, of slowing the team's offenses down.
They are, and you see this zone, both teams playing some zone and junking it up, which is forcing... Oh, Matt Lacey questioning a call there about the shot clock. I think the whistle had gone. The whistle went just before the siren sounded, almost in anticipation. But you can see both teams junking it up and just taking each other out of rhythm. Almost halfway through this quarter, we've got 5 points scored total. And we've had some decent looks, you know, as we see a turnover there, but both teams have generated a couple of decent looks. They just haven't been able to knock them down.
I've seen it at a few earlier games, actually. The second half have been a lot more free-flowing. Just because those nerves have settled, you've got into the rhythm of the game. Roden got caught there in the wrong place. Struther with the steal. The Euro. And no good. Anderson right wing. And another steal here in this game.
And that's that pressure you talked about out top. And it's great to see some people being able to apply that ball pressure. As we see yet another turnover. But just forcing teams into making those mistakes.
And so we're going to see two subs here for Rosmini College. Number 12, Noah Johns, and number 3, Josh Batty. Renowned three-point shooter. Someone who's a bit of a late developer, but starting to find his feet. And Wiley just throws that away again. Here come Hamilton boys. And one. Great conversion there from Mason Wiltshire. And a chance to tie this game up. You wouldn't think after 5 minutes we'd be saying chance to tie it up at 4 apiece.
Tie it up, maybe 4 apiece? No. We said it was going to be a close one, and this is just showing how close it really can be.
Hamilton didn't send any rebounders, so Jakovsky picks it up easy as you like. Batty out of the corner. Said he could shoot. Kurufifi Toru, Josh Batty.
And if Hamilton are going to play that 1-3-1, they're going to scramble or struggle in the corners if they can't get there and get a hand, particularly on a kid like Batty, who really can shoot the ball well.
Oh, great pass. And a great finish from the big fella, Jeffries. Back-to-back possessions now scored on in this game. And look how high up that defensive pressure's coming. Tried to find Johns under the hoop and again stolen. No easy passing lanes for either team in this game at this stage.
No, Wiltshire's doing a great job playing those passing lanes at the back there of that zone, and he's got a couple of deflections and a couple of steals to see the big fella step out and attempt a three.
Jeffrey's trying to show he's got range there. Here's Johns, got fouled. That was close. Just takes a bit of air out of the game at the moment.
Yeah, there's been a couple of games that have been very much up and down, and the whistle hasn't blown at all. So you see some of these kids day one, even though they are meant to be fresh, they're looking pretty gassed, as we see Batty to get another one up.
As the shot clock went off the back of the tupper, the turn up into the hands of Jamie Sosa. Oh, what a find.
Jeffries has got he's had a couple of possessions now where he's just got some really good hands, you know, catching the ball, giving it up, getting it on, whatever it might be. He's like he's going to be a really big piece of this this offense.
Anderson out of the post, gets that pass tipped, 2-on-2. Struthers tried to go over the help.
And that's a tough break. They're 3-on-1. They need to run a little wider, you know, try and create some space there.
Wide open, Kurufifi Toru off the Papamuri, turned up into the hands of Josh Batty. Not going to get many better looks at this stage, are you?
No, particularly with this low-scoring game so far. You got to be able to create those good looks and then be able to knock them down.
As we can see, Liam Bates into the game for Zion Anderson.
I love Zion's length and way he gets after it on the defensive end of the floor. He's got some great physical tools. It's good to see him playing here. And, you know, after last year's loss to Christ College, good to see Rosmini back and Zion back doing his thing.
Yeah, Zion, a bit of a chance for redemption. They were kept a cap on pretty well against Christ College in that final. Kurufifi Toru attempt out of the corner, and Johns couldn't quite bring that back. Rosmini ball, so Hamilton boys a chance to take their first lead in this game. Just over 2.5 minutes to play here at the show court. Don't forget, if you're in the region, we have 9 courts going at the same time. It's a bit of a mecca of basketball.
It really is. This is being in New Zealand and going to 7s to 15s, 17s, 19s tournaments, 13s is coming up next week. This really is the pinnacle when it comes down to what's going on, the amount of courts, the amount of kids playing, and the quality of basketball. This really is great as we see another corner three. If Hamilton are going to stay in that zone, they're going to give up corner threes. And right now, Rosmini's hit one. But if they can get going from there, that's going to be a real long night for Hamilton boys.
I saw Hunter Adams' comments where they'd asked all the MVPs from last year across the 4 different tournaments for some thoughts, and he summed it up pretty well. It's the pinnacle of your school basketball career. You're playing for the pride of your school, your mates, which you get in association basketball, but it's never the same as the school that you went to.
And for some of these kids, they've gone through primary school, intermediate, and now at high school. And that bond that you can create through that period of time is absolutely outstanding. And it's really cool to see some of these guys who play for that long together just be able to get to that stage where they're doing a great job and they're trying to win.
Roden gets caught with it. Batty again, up fake. Almost kicked it back. Jakovsky, Batty. Shot clock got reset. Not quite sure Hamilton had control of it. And a foul's going to be called on Noah Johns. That's going to be the 4th on Rosmini. So not quite in the penalty, but anything now from either team. Free throws.
Oh, the officials have called the bonus right now.
Matt Lacey asking the question. I mean, we saw in the last game they actually missed when Takapuna were in the bonus. They didn't award the free throws. They missed it from the school bench. Might see the opposite given here. Nope. Full team foul. But it's nice that the discussion can be had.
And that is something that our officials are doing a much better job of as they progress through. The amount of chatter from the referees to the coaches and to the athletes it's better, and it can go up another level. And the fact that they're talking to themselves, they're talking to each other, is really, really cool, because I think they can alleviate so many problems before they even start. And you can see some athletes and coaches get frustrated as games go, and you know, just a little word here and there from the official. Hey, this is what I saw. This is what happened. Whatever it might be. We see Zion Anderson take off down the floor. Rebound and push.
Jakovsky, skip past Batty. Kurufifi Toru off the back. Tupper and Zion Anderson again. Batty just hesitated there. It's one of those ones that if he'd made a couple, probably would have shot it.
Yeah. As we see another. Just missed. I mean, these are some good looks. Rosmini, that zone, they've finally figured it out. They had some early turnovers against it. But now they've figured it out. Now they've had 3 or 4 good looks from 3. Just haven't been able to put the ball in the hole, as we see.
Great
score there.
Hemi Neal found an open lane with no help side. And one of the easiest looks in this chess match that we've seen thus far.
It has been a chess match indeed. It's just one of the lowest scoring chess matches of the day, I think.
Anderson had that tipped. Strother puts it up. And that's going to end quarter number 1. Hamilton Boys High 9, Rosmini College 7. Miles, this is the most entertaining 9-7 game I think I've ever watched.
It's been, both teams are getting it done right now on the defensive end of the floor. Unfortunately for both of them, they haven't been able to put the ball in the hole as much. But as we can see, the brains trust of Rosmini, Sonny and Matt, they're having a little chat, trying to figure some things out.
It's not bad, is it, when you've got a Sales NBL assistant coach as your number 2? It certainly helps.
That's not too bad at all. And, you know, they probably want to go into the huddle and just say, guys, make those shots. But unfortunately, we don't have control over that. But they really have done a good job generating. You know, as we said, they've had some early turnovers, but they've done a really good job figuring out that zone and being able to generate some great looks from 3, particularly for their shooters as well. So hopefully they can keep doing that and knock some of those down.
I think as well, Hamilton's doing such a good job. Every time Rosmini's picking up the ball, they're trying to make a pass across 2 defenders, which becomes tough. It's how do you pivot out and then get that rotation around the outside rather than trying to go through, because Hamilton doing a fantastic job, and it comes down to coaching of walling up, keeping the hands up, getting the tips, and then running out.
And that's not the coaching done here in game. That has been the whole season of drilling in these little habits and getting going. And Mason, as we said, Mason Wiltshire had 3 or 4 deflections, a couple of steals at the back there. This is something that that Coach Strother has drilled and repeated throughout the season, you know, in Hamilton through qualifiers and now here. So they're doing a great job. Just like to see that scoreboard keep going a little more.
I tell you what, it's good. Either team, I mean, one team has to go down on this game, but in terms of points differential at the moment, if they lose, that's not looking so bad. It's pretty easy points differential to overcome if that becomes a 3-way tie.
And we had a couple of those in tournaments this year. I think there was one at 19s, 17s or 19s. There was a bit of a 3-way tie in one of the pools, and I think there was in the girls' Zone 3 qualifiers as well. There was a couple of tied up situations where math came into it. Not always my strongest suit.
That's what the manager's there for, Miles. Leave it up to them to work it out.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Hamilton boys in the black and red are going to get us underway here in quarter number 2. And an inbound there to Hemi Neal. Rosmini still in man-to-man. Doing a great job of getting through these screens. Hamilton using a baseline runner here. 7 seconds on the shot clock for Hamilton boys. Putting it on the floor, up and over. And Jakovsky comes down with the ball. Entertaining first possession.
You can see a little bit more desperation as we see a chip and chase, but unfortunately that's the wrong sport right here. The Aussies may need a lesson in that after their subpar performance.
Quick show there from Zion. And again, little scrappy start. Roden lost the opportunity for the kick ahead. And then couldn't convert. Maybe didn't like the passing window that he had with Josh Batty. Mason Wiltshire. Nice little exchange here on the near side. And they're really trying to use those off-ball screens, aren't they, to try and create some action on the baseline. Jeffries up against Anderson. Shot clock violation is called. And it's going to be Rosmini ball.
Well, it's nice to see a lot of that off-ball action because there's been some teams today that have been so on-ball dominant heavy. It's kind of cool to see some action off the ball and trying to free up some guys with that as we see a middle pick and roll. And a great little set from Matt Lacey. Zion missing one, but grabbing his own rebound and putting it back in.
And that's huge, those second opportunities, isn't it? A chance to amend your miss. As here comes Tyrese for Hamilton boys. Rosmini super active. Forcing Wiltshire to lose it. And a foul eventually called on Zion Anderson. Thought he got the ball. Got a piece of his shoulder and to the line. Go Hamilton boys. We have another look at it.
Yeah, just a little bit of arm-to-arm contact as that shot was taken.
And it misses the first, so we're deadlocked here at 9 apiece. After 12 minutes of play, did not have that one on the bingo card. And there we go, 10-9. And we're going to have Noah Johns coming in for Zion Anderson.
And Zion's really doing a great job as a utility. He's guarding that big guy, bringing the ball up the floor, playing inside out. With the loss of the guys that we spoke to before, and shout out to Big Jules, Tommy, and Charlie. You know, they really have gotten a little smaller. So it's cool to see these guys embrace new roles within the group.
We see as well now a lot more in modern basketball that post play, isn't it? It's used more as a playmaking spot rather than a scoring spot. As Jakovsky with the Kurufifi Toru. Huge basket.
The post is always a scoring option. Always a scoring option. We're throwing that in. No, but you're right. The popularity of some split actions as we see
Jeffries.
Little catch and go and spin back for Jeffries finishing. But so many teams now use that to generate some movement and some looks as we see another drive and kick, and unfortunately for Rosmini, a turnover.
As subs in both sides. Clock is still running, just worth pointing out. We lost about 7 seconds there. And in the context of a tie ball game, those 7 seconds at the end can become interesting. Here's Hamilton boys. Almost running a high-low action. A staple of Matt Lacey there to try and double that, and one. Looked like a little push in the back of Jeffries.
And if Rosmini are going to continue to get after the on-ball in that aggressive manner, then that short roll is going to be a great option to try and beat that pressure. So Rosmini, Coach Lacey and Rosmini need to get their last defender a little higher to try and catch that earlier, or potentially change up what they're doing just so they can't get that short roll.
You almost wonder if they start faking it just to try and get the ball handler to pick the ball up, looking for that pass. Another little chess move we might see out of Matt Lacey. We have not seen the last of the adjustments by any stretch of the imagination from both these coaches tonight. Liam Bates, a great finish. And we're back tied up here, 14 apiece. The score is not reflecting the quality of the game. It just shows kids who only watch NBA, you don't need to have 120 all for it to be a fantastic game.
I had this conversation with someone the other day as we see the big fella get another bucket down low. That's what we're talking about, the scoring post. Love to see it. But a couple of guys were talking about the fact they didn't play well because they didn't score.
Bates again.
But I asked the question, so when Josh Giddey had a double-double and he didn't take a shot, did he play poorly? So I'm going to say no, he didn't. As you see, Hamilton boys get another quick score.
I have to say, Miles, the recent FIBA World Cup that we had is we're going to see a timeout taken by Rosmini. Probably the best basketball, my favourite basketball I've watched in a long time. Just the high quality, especially of those European teams.
I love watching the European basketball. EuroLeague is just absolutely outstanding, and some of the things they do and the quality of coaches, athletes they got over there, it really is outstanding. Now, most of the stuff we get here is all NBA and Sal's NBL, and that's a very quality level of basketball. But for some nerdisms, you know, like getting into some basketball nerdisms right there, there's nothing like the EuroLeague. Fenerbahce, Olympiacos, you know, they're some very good teams to watch. So to be able to watch Germany and Schroeder lead Germany to a World Cup win, just goes to show how much the world is catching up, because back in the good old days, it was USA and daylight and everyone else was chasing them.
The one I'm interested to see is, I believe you've got is it a US college degree to coach college basketball? I might not be right on that. No,
there is, and strangely enough, a lot of the US companies do like to have people with degrees. So there's just sometimes that is the case.
But I'm wondering, at what point do they think of opening it up to more European coaches and maybe changing the style of college basketball?
Well, that's interesting you say that, because right now, I think a couple of the best players in the NBA are all European. So you look at Jokic, Doncic, a lot of itches, you know, and Antetokounmpo, you know, the Greek freak. So there's some Bogdanovic. There's some great European players. So what a stage to be like, okay, well, let's try and get some of these European coaches out here and working with some of our young guys.
Good defense there to make Struther pick the ball up against Jakovsky, pulls up from the mid-range, and a foul there on the big fella. Good work there from Liam Bates. Doing his work in the trenches like his dad Stephen used to do.
There you go. A big shout out to BV, Byron Votoe, checking out the game. A legend of New Zealand basketball. He'll have his 21st birthday coming up sometime soon.
Here's Wiley out of the corner, gets fouled, and will go to the line. And I tell you what, it's quite quiet in here, Miles. I feel like there must be some very good other games going on around the courts for it to be this quiet in here.
And as I walk, I was actually watching some with Westlake girls and Waimea girls game. Westlake were playing out on court 1. Waimea were on court 4, I think it was. Manakura, good team from Palmy, was playing, so sort of flipping between some of those games in the last round. But there is, so you walking in, Auckland Grammar was coming in, and you know, so a number of different teams were rolling in, getting ready to play. And you're right, the quality of basketball is really high. And unfortunately, there are 9 courts, and fortunately, there are 9 courts. So you really are spoilt for choice right now with what's going on.
Foot raise for Batty with the left hand. And 2 points there. Go missing for Rosmini. I love when you get late day 2, late or early day 3, and it becomes who's going to finish where in the pool, and you can just see herds of people hearing about a potential upset or a game getting tight, and just herds of people moving across the courts. It's a sight to behold. If you've never been to the secondary school nationals.
I was lucky enough to coach a game that went into overtime here at Nationals a few years ago, and the crowd that got around our game was fairly impressive just for that very reason.
Lucky roll there for Chris Wiley, the Kuruwhiwhi Toru, and Rosmini up 2018 over Hamilton Boys High. Great footwork there, just to be able to pivot off the foot of Wiltshire, and it's going to be Rosmini ball. Just got caught there, trying to be a little bit cute of our Hamilton boys with that bounce pass there. And
Ormsby threw that bounce pass, and it probably was he threw the right pass to the right guy at the right time. You know, it was just probably not the bounce pass that was the pass wasn't quite there, but that pass was the right choice at to the right guy. He's going to need to tidy up the actual execution of that play as we see Rosmini knock down another 3.
Speaking like a good coach there, Miles, praising the decision making, not the outcome. I like it.
I may have been doing this too long.
Never.
It's a great D there. A little shuffle of the feet.
Velo and Thompson just got bumped, didn't he, as he was trying to pivot. Forced him to shift that other foot. So Rosmini, chance here if they score to make this a 3-possession game, and Jakovsky was moving on that screen. And it's going to be straight to Hamilton boys.
And considering the score at quarter time, this has been an outstanding scoring quarter for both these teams.
Yeah, there's going to be a few people who miss this one, who log on to check the scores in the morning and go, what on earth happened?
As you mentioned earlier, the second half, you know, guys get into a bit of a groove and they feel that little bit of pressure.
The big fella once again doubled. And away comes Zion Anderson. Little Euro step and beautiful finish with the floater, and timeout taken Hamilton boys.
I do like the Euro step from Zion, since he spent a lot of time in France.
Great call.
So it's all fairly appropriate that the little Frenchie's got the Euro step.
And we almost need a third mic in here, don't we, Miles? Because we're joined by Brent Matahari, 2-time now Sal's NBL winning coach, first in 2020 in the showdown, as well as last year in 2022.
Great man with great knowledge.
Doing good things in the South.
And he, you know, he's from the South because he's got the stems out. Great set of stems, and everyone else here is rugged up in Palmy. It's not the warmest day outside, and Coach Matahari's rolling in with the shorts and making them look good too.
It's midsummer weather in Dunedin.
This is very true. I was down there for a couple of years. I never understood. You turn the radio on in the morning, listen to what's going on in there. So it's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky, heading for a high of 7 degrees. Never quite understood that. Briggsy loved it.
So referees bringing the players back out on the floor. It's going to be Hamilton ball, down 24-18.
I feel like Brent could probably give us a couple of stories about Coach Strother as well. Over the years, they probably went to battle a couple of times.
Oh, yes, okay.
Full court pressure here from Rosmini. Matched up a man-to-man. Regan Ashley just having a little conversation, and both teams agreeing Rosmini's actually on 25. And it's a big point right now.
It is, considering the pace of scoring.
It's going to stay man-to-man coverage. Rosmini, though, still in the plugging lanes, doing a good job. Already used 10 seconds of the shot clock. Strava, a good no-call there, I thought. But a big Kurufifi Toru. Velo and Thompson. 25-21. Wiley out of the corner. Can't respond. Rebound Jakovsky.
And that press, Rob Beveridge ran a great press with the Southland Sharks for a couple of years. It was just able to eat up the clock and take away time. So great to see Matt Lacey employing some of these tactics.
He studies a lot. I remember when he went to the Commonwealth Games in 2018 just to watch. Then all his zone plays were ones that he stole from the Australian Opals. Well, I don't say steal. Every coach steals things, right? It's just shared knowledge.
Yes, indeed. And you've got to run it at least 4 times to claim it as your own.
Well, he definitely did that. He had a great play as well against a 2-3 zone where you'd have the guy would hit the handoff, take out the first guy. Someone would sprint in from the baseline, take out the second guy, and suddenly the top just opened right up for the ball handler to go through.
We'll have to keep an eye on that playbook. It might start showing up in other leagues around New Zealand.
If there's one play I would like to see taken out of playbooks around the country, full court pressing and under 13s.
So here's the catch. You're not allowed to play zone in New Zealand in under 13s or under 15s.
Yep.
So why are we allowed to zone press? This is a question that I've asked a few people, and no one seems to know the answer. So I can't play a 2-3 zone, but I can play a 2-2-1 zone press.
The other thing I would like to see, and it's so tough because obviously it's younger referees at that age group, defensive 3 seconds under 13s and under 15s.
Ooh.
Stop the lazy defender under the hoop just because they're taller and can't move.
You're talking about me.
I was not talking about you. I'm old enough to remember you playing Miles, and that was not you.
That was finally. I wish I'd played it under 13s. I didn't start till late, but no, it's a tough one. You know, that we want our juniors to be able to get out and have some success. So I really don't mind these ideas of yours. We'll have to get to the powers that be, the decision makers. We see a great little deflection from Rosmini lead to a break.
Wiley to the hoop. Can't find a teammate, but will keep the ball. Still 18 on the shot clock. But referee Regan Ashley wants a word. What's he seen? Change of ball. So again, still full court man pressure from Rosmini. So this one defense, I'd love to see under 13s, full court man to man. Struther just kicks that one on. Neil, little floater and good. Under a minute to play, 1 possession game. Rosmini 25, Hamilton Boys 23. Jakovsky travelled. And decision time here for Hamilton Boys. Do you try and get a quick score and have the last shot of the half? Or Rosmini, have they done enough to disrupt Hamilton Boys and force them to use the full allotment of the 24?
I would be pushed as a coach. If they've decided to slow it down, I'd be trying to push for a 2-for-1 situation. Try and generate a good early shot.
Now, I don't know if you saw it, but Harlan Roden there went miles under that screen. And you almost wonder if Hamilton Boys there could have reversed it, but they score anyway. Tie ball game. Rosmini College, theoretically, will have the last shot of the half. Hamilton Boys could foul here to disrupt them. They're not in the bonus. Choose not to. They get the second best thing, a tip out of bounds. And does Rosmini have a timeout? If they do, they're not going to use it. If they don't...
Was it too early to call player timeout?
Ryan Double Dam, that was the rule he wanted.
That's the rule he wanted?
Yeah, I said if you're FIBA commissioner, what rule would you bring in? He said player timeouts. But it's not 3-on-3.
I would probably look to get rid of the possession arrow on hustle play jump balls. Start of the quarter, yeah, sure, that's not a problem. But if you and I are fighting for it and we get tussled up, throw it up.
We will sit on that thought at halftime. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with the second half.
I just want to thank New Zealand Carbon Farming for taking the initiative and supporting schools like ours.
It's really important they have that outlet to come to kura for another reason other than curriculum, and for some reason in our water our kids just breathe sport, and having that resource here makes life that much more enjoyable and they can keep doing what they're good at.
Having this funding, being able to use it specifically targeting sport is hugely beneficial.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
We found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather 20 years ago.
We had to make sure from the beginning, yep, this is what we're going to do and we're going to go all in.
And was us.
So I was so determined to have this pepe.
Puro pepe, ki whakaata Māori me Māori Plus.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in this. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
Hey, sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
The bait is over.
What I can almost guarantee is there's going to be some good fish here today.
Tuna in every 2 days.
I was pretty excited actually. Went from 0 to 100 real quick.
For a real good time.
All guns blazing.
Oh.
Yeah, my technique, it was me. Not.
Get in the water, Wild 2 day. Ki whakaata Māori.
Another day in paradise.
Welcome back here to an absolute chess match between Hamilton Boys High School and Rosmini College. Andrew Horrocks alongside Miles Pearce, and a man who cannot turn on a microphone, Brent Matahaere, is joining us. Double check that's not on mute.
No mai, haere mai. Kia ora, kia ora.
Kia ora.
I want to just jump back into the piece you talked about, Miles, before we went to ad break. Rewarding hustle plays and taking out the jump ball where the defense gets the ball, I'm assuming you're referring to.
Well, just I like the idea of just, rather than going to the possession arrow for these ones, start a quarter, go for it. But if you and I get tangled up, you know, on a hustle play, diving on the ball, and we both wrap it up, let's take it back to the old school jump ball. You know, let's see if we can get that going.
Brent?
Yeah, I like the old jump ball. I think there's a whole lot of excitement about it. You plan for it. You work your strategies out for a dominant jump ball and a submissive jump ball, and you make sure you've got some ideas about where you can get that extra position from. So it just adds to a little bit.
Yeah, no, and people sort of knock the old school But the old school is a good school.
Yeah, I heard you say that earlier today, and I was like, it was an all right school.
And no, it's a good school.
I got bullied a little bit when I was younger because I was skinny.
You probably got bullied by Ricky and BV.
Yeah, Ricky was at Church College. I was at St John's, and there were certainly some major battles. But we did get to play together on the JTBs. We toured the States and Canada.
Can I ask what century? Oh, the year that was?
This is 1988.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, were you born then?
Yes, I was. I was old by then. I was double digits. Just a quick shout out to Coach Trent Adam, who's tuning in all the way from Japan. Doing a great job with Shimane right now.
Yeah, we were reminiscing with my schoolboy team put on the 2014 final, and we're talking about all the players, and oh my goodness, that guy's in that team, that guy's in that team. And it was a pretty special time, and of course Trent running the girls.
It seems like a lifetime ago as we see Rosmini opening the scoring for the second half. Now that was a lot quicker than the first quarter.
That was the easiest basket we have seen this game. If you're just joining us for the second half, it is a chess match of two great coaches, new school versus old school. Matt Lacey, Ricky Struther. And back-to-back easy baskets. That is not reflecting the game we have been watching this far.
Yeah, locked up at 27 at the half, or 25 at the half. There's not a whole lot of scoring going on, but they seem to have opened it up pretty well.
I don't think you guys, I don't think the Otago Nuggets had a quarter under 30, did you? You guys were, Todd Withers was shooting it quite well, Harris was shooting it quite well. You guys were a scoring powerhouse this year.
At times. We scored in bunches, and we also not scored in bunches as well. So, yeah, interesting times.
Takes the on-ball screen and a steal here from Josh Wiley to the hoop. Stripped off his foot. And you could argue lazy defense, but they did what they had to do.
Yeah. Won the possession back.
Yeah, snuck that arm in there, got it off the knee.
But this is quite, it's quite a cool tournament. You were referring to that lovely 2014 championship that you won with the Otago fellas, and now there's a number of those guys that have been to college or whatever it is, and they're playing in the Sal's NBL, and it started here for a lot of the kids. I remember Dan Fotu, Sam Wardenberg, Sam Timmons, watching those guys all compete here. So it's great to see these guys, and hopefully we see them competing in the Sal's NBL in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have gone on to do some pretty awesome things, and obviously you see Matty Freeman that we're playing against in the finals, played Germany, he's Oklahoma. Isaac Davidson went to Sonoma and then came back, and he's been tearing it up in the league. So there's guys that have gone and played at this tournament and continue to get better and better, and like the caliber of the game in this country is just on the rise, and it's exciting to be a big part of it. Especially in that NBL space, like, the old Saints. You guys could talk about scoring in bunches.
I think an exciting one for me, Brent, recently is Jack Andrew, who we talk about the single A players and the ones you just mentioned, but he came through single A, you picked him up in the draft, and now he's gone on to bigger and better things. Yeah, no, I mean, Jack's, he's huge in so many different ways, other than really talking. He's a quiet fella. But yeah, no, I mean, there's opportunity over there with the Wildcats. His second year on a development player contract is putting him in good stead, and we hope he comes back healthy this time. He was a little bit underdone with some injuries, so yeah. But on the court here, the spacing now seems to be a lot better. There seems to be that energy going on. The ability to spread the floor. These guys have that. You can see from their ability to shoot. Watched Hamilton boys a little bit this morning against Wellington. And they, just like great intensity, great hustle, bit of a 1-3-1 zone a lot.
It caused a lot of disruptions for Rosmini in the first half, that 1-3-1 zone.
Jakovsky there finds some space in Bloody Nose Lane and puts it up and in. 32-27 now, Rosmini over Hamilton boys.
And this is, in terms of this game, 5 points is a big lead right now.
Yeah, I'd say, obviously we don't have someone sitting on stats for us, but I think Rosler had a 5-point lead late in the second as well. And just like Hamilton boys closing that up.
Tatato Strava there with a big Kurufifi Toru.
Now, you mentioned the Kurafifi Toru, and I watch the game now and watch how many threes some of these guys shoot, and I just think back to when I started playing, and if we shot 10 threes in a half, coach would be getting on us for shooting too many. And now if you've shot 10 threes at half, coach will be yelling at you, you haven't got enough up. The modern game, it's a wonderful thing.
I like the old stat where you shoot the same number of threes as you do free throws, and then you know you're still being aggressive.
Hey, there we go.
A little insight there of the stats that Brett Matahari likes to track for the Otago Nuggets. Good pressure there from Rosmini College. Are they going to come over the ball? No, we're going to have a jump ball.
Well, we would have back in the Miles's day, but now we're just going to have a possession.
We still hadn't cut the bottom out of the peach baskets when I first started playing.
Now, if Commissioner Miles was in play as well, that would be Rosmini College ball. But not to be. The rules are the rules.
Oh no, we just jump it up.
Yeah, just jump it up.
I remember
they have to put the dots back in the.
Yeah. Because that was tough, because you say you got to get to the dotted, but there's no dotted anymore, so no one knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's no paint anymore. Oh, now we're going throwback. Yeah. 3 for 2. 3 free throws for 2. Way back.
Yeah.
2 free throws for 1. Then they went complete the other way and made 1+1 in the penalty.
1 and 1, yeah.
Had to get that one up quickly to avoid the shot clock violation. Here comes Liam Bates for Rosmini. Chris Riley, great rip and go. Majakovsky, if he'd spaced a little bit better, could have had an open Kurafifi Toru as it is. Josh Wiley is going to go to the line.
You talked about the Euro there stepping through. A lot of strength in the gluteal region to be able to do that, stay balanced. I like the spacing and transition that Rosa have. They come down and make sure they get to that strong side corner, get triple penetration, and then they have shooters coming through on the wing. So creates those closeouts, and obviously on the hard closeouts, the Rosa boys able to get to the paint and look to score.
Converts both, and we're seeing a little bit of a half-court trap. Is it an actual trap? Not to be, as Hamilton get it over the top. Chance to reset here. Here's Strother up against Batty. Sosa on the right wing, down to 8 seconds on the shot clock. Still plenty of time if you're a coach. And converts off the tupper and the Papa Moody to get it back to 2 points.
Yeah, tough finish on the inside there, wasn't it, Andrew? You know, and there you go. There's that Hamilton boys defense.
Oh, what a finish with the left hand. Off balance.
And just like that, we're all tied up again.
Chris Wiley off the tupper, but Josh Batty flies high. Is fouled, and that's going to be foul number 3 on Hamilton boys. But more energy to start the second half.
Second game for the day for these guys, so you know, shake out the muscle soreness from game 1 maybe.
Possibly the large meal they had in between.
Possibly.
That was always my dilemma. On the road, good food, eat a little too much, feel like having a little nap just before the game or during it.
Both of you question, what was your NBL, so New Zealand League stop? Were you always worried that you're going to eat too good a meal as Josh Batty hits the Kurafifi Toru? You're going to eat too good a meal before the game, so you weren't going to have the energy.
I don't know about before the game, but the Canterbury Rams were sponsored by the casino for a long, long time, and the after-game meals were always at the casino, and that was just a buffet, all you can eat. So not sure about before the game, but that one was always a great feed after the game.
You couldn't beat Nelson Giant's fish bites.
Ooh.
Pretty much straight out of, you know, Golden Bay, something like that. And just, oh, sensational. The tartar sauce, always good.
Into the high post. Scoring option if you're Miles Pearce. But a playmaking option on that possession.
We need more post-up scoring options.
Jakowski, great up fake. Batty again. Can they find that corner? They do. And a little bit long there. Bates on the Kurafifi Toru. Here comes Strubber.
The Hamilton boys are quite happy to allow Rosa to drive the hard closeouts and rely on inside presence to defend.
Well, Jeffries is a big body. He's doing a great job clogging up the lane.
Overload on this side. And I actually think it was the work there from Liam Bates that opened up that lane. Made the defender make the decision. Do they try and get through the screen to the corner for Zion? Got caught in two minds. The lane was there, and an easy layup. Kutufifi Toru is good from Struther.
And every time Rosmini get that lead out to 5, Hamilton seemed to come up with a big basket.
Second chance opportunity here for Rosmini. Can they take advantage of it? Skip past Jakovsky, 6 on the shot clock. High post, great defense to strip that of Zion. Just got caught.
Like I was talking, they allow that catch on the inside and just close down the space. Great hands there, not reaching across the arms, but reaching in and creating little bumps with the ball and coming up. Another midi there.
Brent, how much patience as a coach does it take to try and teach your players that kind of defensive thing of allowing that catch and then smothering it?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a lot of discipline. You know, they would have had the opportunity to play in what seems like a reasonably good, sort of mid-north kind of competition. St. John's have performed pretty well as well. Fraser looked pretty good. There's certainly a lot of intensity going, so that kind of basketball, that kind of, I guess, allowing people, lulling them into the middle and then getting your hands on the basketball, knocking it away. I wouldn't say it might work in a lot of leagues, but yeah, these junior levels, it certainly is. Looks too inviting in there for them to drive and they get trapped in.
Just the ability to create space and hold space. The higher levels you go, and it just becomes such a valuable skill set to have, as we see a pull-up 3 there early in the offense. Rosmini bring it the other way.
Anderson again being shifty. The Wileys cooperating with each other. Just getting caught, aren't they? Almost like half a second too long with the ball, and a travel called there on Zion Anderson.
Yeah, skip passes and finding space on the other side are really important against the 1-3-1. And at the moment, Rosa is basically playing on one side of the floor with all their offense. So,
oh my goodness.
Pretty easy to defend. I saw that happen about 4 times this morning in the first half from Hamilton. I thought they were not on the same page. Didn't think it'd happen again. So Coach Struther is grinding his teeth a little bit over there.
Still no timeouts taken thus far in the third quarter. Both teams trying to hold cards in their pocket for the fourth. Anderson finds the corner, Bates again. Kutufifi Toru off the back tupper, and the tūrapa into the hands of Hemi Neal. Splits the double. Struther again, in and out, and the tūrapa goes to Zion, and away comes Wiley for Rosmini. That was Chris to Josh. Kick out, Jakovsky in the corner.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to play zone when the other team's not shooting the ball well from the perimeter, so that'll be frustrating Coach Matt Lacey over there.
Looks like he's gonna make his first move with a sub coming in. That'll be Noah Johns. Jeffries inside. And Miles Pearce is a happy man right now, seeing a big man go to work.
Yeah, we're not seeing a lot of that, and I think Jeffries has got some size advantage down there. They probably could throw it in a little more, and if the double doesn't come, let him go to work.
Well, Rosa's obviously got one of their more experienced team on the floor. They've all got hair.
Yeah, for those of you at home that don't know, the initiation at Rosmini College, your first nationals, you got to shave your head. Surprised they still allow that stuff in 2023.
I'd be transferring.
I mean, it works. They've made the last 4 finals. Looking for their 5th in a row in 2023. Short there, Zion Anderson. Big rebound, Struther. And here comes Hamilton boys with a 2-point lead. in quarter number 3. That's worth its weight in gold at the moment. And the foul, and that is bonus.
Wiley just crafty in the full court, pushing the ball and being able to get that. He's got that ball on a string.
Well, there's a reason he was named in the New Zealand team that's going to Papua New Guinea very shortly.
Yeah, big week for these for those guys who are going to Oceania Champs, for both the guys and the girls. Play this whole week and finish up Saturday. There's a couple of girls in the single A, I know that, and they may finish up a day or two earlier. But then straight on a flight to Auckland and then leave Sunday for Papua New Guinea. You get ready to play Oceania Championships to qualify for Asia's first year of their 3-year cycle.
It's a big load on a young athlete's body to be able to go back to back like that.
They'll get a couple of days over in Papua New Guinea in prep, but it's an interesting place, Papua New Guinea. First of all, it's really hot, and second of all, you don't want to leave the hotel compound. Yeah, unless you've got a decent guide.
I lived in PNG as a kid. I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh, yeah. That's that nut thing they chew on. It makes them a little crazy.
Wiley up top, keeping it on that right-hand side, gets stripped. And Jeffries comes up with the ball. A minute and change to play here in quarter number 3. Tied up, 42 apiece. Couldn't find him on the short roll. And here comes Wiley to Anderson. Little shift. And no good. Away comes Hamilton boys.
So, and Anderson will probably want that one back, missing a little chippy after some good defense from Rosmini forces the turnover.
Speaking of chippies, any good ones you'd recommend in Palmerston North, Miles? Fish and chips?
Oh, that's maybe Fish Town, 1, 2, 3. I'm not really up on that, so just the place by my house is probably the only one I know.
Kurufifi Toru.
Oh, Reka.
Great shot there from Struther. And again, Wiley finds a way to put his body where the Hamilton boys' hands shouldn't be to commit the foul. And it will go to the line once again.
Number 7, I think. Give me Neil.
Converts the first.
In these tight games, great way to keep the score ticking over and get to that foul line.
Well, it's definitely opening up. What was it, 25 apiece at halftime? 2018 in this quarter alone.
Potentially last possession here. Oh, no.
Zion, get up! Saving the legs for the rest of the tournament. Easy, Kurufaka. And we're tied up a piece, 45. Last position, Hamilton boys calling for the on-board. They're gone too late. Gonna have to put this one up. Oh. And Colville, Owen Thompson nearly got that one to go. So 3/4 time, Rosmini 45, Hamilton boys 45. Firstly, on the Rosmini side, Brent, is there anything that you think Matt Lacey would look at changing going into quarter number 4?
Yeah, as I said before, against that 1-3-1, they've got to get more spacing on the other side. So they're getting penetration through the seams, but they've just got to have people on the other side to create, have more space to shoot the ball. Or if they're going to re-attack it, then the guys that just drove have to space onto the other way. So they've got to make sure they're continuing to get into space and then out to space. So that's one thing I'd be looking at them doing. I think their defense is going okay. They obviously have to do probably a little bit better job on Struther and make sure he doesn't get a look. But that's what I'd be talking about.
On the other side, Hamilton boys, Miles, what adjustments would Coach Struther look to make?
Try and figure out how to get the ball to Struther more. That he's shooting the ball really well right now, and he's one of the reasons the scoreboard was ticking over so much for them. But they've got to look after the ball. Rosmini has forced a couple of errors, so they've got to be able to look after the ball and take advantage of beating that pressure and trying to generate those good shots, particularly with Struther at the end of that.
Looking over at Court 5, we've got Wellington College versus Mount Maunganui, and it is tied up 53 apiece. So tight games across the board going into the evening. What you like to see? We don't like blowouts, do we?
No, I mean, what a great game. I mean, obviously, position by position going in here to the, down the stretch. It's going to be exciting times. Both coaches have all 3 timeouts, so you'll see probably one of those each chewed up a little bit early and then saving them until later. So, I mean, exciting times in this game. And obviously, over there on court 5, you know, yeah, close basketball games. Isn't it a wonderful sport?
I do remember chatting to you, Brent, in 2020 at the South NBL Showdown. You always said you always like to have one in the holster at the end of the game, just in case. So
yeah, you never know when you're going to need it. Certainly like to get within a possession. If you're down 5, you probably want to get a quick one. Then you have to go full court because you need that one to advance or foul, put them on the line, create some issues for them, and then So yeah, do like to have one in the holster.
The advantage of Sal's NBL now is that player timeout is so valuable.
Oh, it's unbelievably valuable.
The idea of...
You have a timeout from a rebound now.
Yeah.
So you can't automatically miss a shot to slow the game down.
Yeah.
Like, there's 3 seconds on the clock. You can't auto miss and know they're not going to be able to get that shot off. Unless, of course, it's against Palmerston North boys from 45 feet back. Too soon?
Too soon. Too soon. Shout out to all the boys from 2016 that are tuned in, all the Panthers guys, 2016, 2017.
Zion out of the post. How did he find that pass? Great sweeping defense from Hamilton boys.
There it is. That's that space.
Oh, perfectly executed possession from Rosmini College. Way to use the 24-second as they bring full court pressure as well.
I feel like Coach Lacey's listening into the broadcast and just taking notes on what Brent has said on that. Being able to find that space and generate that 3.
We're seeing as well a baseline runner being incorporated from Hamilton boys. Strother, Kurufifi Toru off the back tupper, and away comes Harlan Roden. Gosh, he's quick. Travel call.
And there's been a few athletes called for travel that I've seen today, and they catch the ball and then pop their feet after catching the ball. So always going to be a travel in that situation. They just got to try and get that pop of the feet while the ball's coming to them.
I think you notice as well, international age group events, New Zealand athletes seem to struggle a little bit with the travel calls, whereas now I feel like it's getting called a lot more here, so they're having to tighten it up. Wide open shot here, Kurufifi Toru. Short, and away comes Wiley for Rosmini. This is Chris Wiley. Good luck picking them apart if you don't have their basketball jersey on.
I'm sure they may have played a game or 2 in the other's jersey just to mess with people. You got to do that, right?
I'll tell you what, if one of them's having 30 points and fouls out, surely you just get them to swap jerseys.
Yeah.
Great defensive position there for Hamilton boys, and a chance. Tie this up. The big fella wants it on the post. Put the hand up. Here we go. Quick double from Rosmini. Doesn't matter.
That's 2 points per possession in my mind.
Yes, yes, sir. All the modern analytics. That's just a great bucket down low.
Roden almost loses that pass. Wiley crosses over. Jakovsky. Again, it comes back to that spacing, doesn't it, Brent, that you were talking about before? Strother up top. Great rip and go, and one. Hear me kneel. And it all comes back to that quick decision he made on the catch.
Yeah, just having the ability to just go, get and go. Quickly to the rim, little late call there, but the right one. Plenty of contact on the head.
3 points the old-fashioned way. Potentially to tie this one up.
A score points issue again.
Again, massive thank you to Basketball Manawa 2, who are manning every court with volunteers to make this tournament happen. Otherwise, Brent, you might be on a school bench at some
Yeah,
some point
highly likely. I think I'm on a score bench tomorrow. I think Phil Burns is the coach on one side. Hastings Girls is on the other side, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think I might put myself on the iPad.
Of course, massive thank you to Bailey's, New Zealand Carbon Farming, Celtics, Apollo Projects, and the New Zealand Community Trust.
Actually, I might not put myself on the iPad. There's too much technology. My fingers are too big.
Just one button for the shot clock.
Surely I can be on the paddles.
There you go.
Big fella go to work. Great kick out.
Tough shot.
Rebound, Zion Anderson. Away comes Harlan Roden. Almost stripped there from Struther. Happy to slow things up. Their high post entry still open. And Bates with the left hand.
A little too strong on that one. You got to remember this Rosmini team still has Jameer to get back in. Those guys getting back into the country early tomorrow morning. And a number of those guys coming here to play straight off the plane, and we'll see how we go as Struther knocks down another 3.
Opens up a 5-point lead here for Hamilton boys.
There's the first timeout of the second half, and it's Coach Lacey calling it. Just want to stem the tide there. A couple of inside-out plays from Hamilton boys, and found 3-point line open and rattled one in.
Well, he's not afraid to call him early, is he? He called the first time out of the game within the first 3 minutes. What about you, Brent? Do you like the early timeout at times, or are you always wanting to win the chess match?
No, I think I prefer to let them go. But talking with John Riley, the Wildcats coach, he loves an early timeout. He loves it. He says if I've told them to do something and they haven't done it, I'll call one within second possession.
And I was at the Perth Wildcats were playing last season against the Breakers in Taranaki.
Yeah.
And that very thing happened. I'm sure offensive rebounding was a big key message in the pre-game. The Breakers grabbed an offensive rebound, and instantly there was a timeout, and it was the first possession of the game.
In the New Zealand NBL, that's what we'd call a stand-up timeout.
Yep.
And where the media can't come into the timeout and have any comms or anything in there, because sometimes the message is sent rather strongly. I'm not sure it would have happened in those timeouts down there, though.
I remember Kevin Braswell coaching New Zealand Breakers. I think he got fined nearly every game for what he was saying in his timeouts.
KB, legend of a man. Did you have any stand-up timeouts this year?
No, it's too tired.
That was scoring too many points. Baines blocked from behind. Called a foul. Let's have another look at it. Great cut, first of all, from the weak side.
Oh, yeah, on the head. Great call.
Good call.
We have the benefit of replay.
We do.
He's standing on the line, though, so I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
when and the ball don't lie, is what I got told, so obviously it was definitely a foul.
Converts the second, back to a one-possession game. Rosmini denied Struther on the inbound, but happy to let him have the ball to bring it over half court. Trying to run a little curl, get the big fella the ball. Kurufifi Toru is strong. Rebound, Anderson. And foul is called. Just got a little bit scrappy in there.
A little bit of a mishandle, but regathered enough control to reel it in and be fouled. Only the second foul for the quarter. Second team foul, I should say.
Josh Wiley back in for Liam Bates. Rosmini not looking to run anything special potentially out of this. A little high on ball. Fine design, Anderson triple teamed. Steps through and blocked in again. That one was on the arm from Jeffries. Regan Ashley asking him to just calm down a little bit. Emotions running high. Just shows the passion going into this one for both sides.
No, it's just what we were chatting about earlier with the officials, with the ability to to chat to some players and talk to the athletes, talk to the coaches, and just try and diffuse some of those emotional situations within the game.
Anderson converts the second Kuru Tautuku, and 1 point game now. Hamilton boys 53, Rosmini 52, just over halfway to play in quarter number 4. Struther up the top, isolated. Again, going into the big man, quick double, goes around them, and foul is called. Good, strong basketball there from Hamilton boys, old school.
Yeah, well, a couple of fouls there up high, and very consistent with the calls from at both ends. So should, as you say, settle the coaches down and make them a little bit more happy about what's been going on.
Converts the first 2 point game.
That one sounded sweet. Half of the quarter to go.
This is the second 2 point game. You always wonder with that double, do they look to front and then bring the second guy in behind on the, if they can get the catch?
Yeah, I mean, allowing him to get the ball, he seems to be able to dribble between 2 people anyway, so.
Wiley finds some space to Jakovsky, to the corner, Chris Wiley. In and out on the Kuruwhiwhi Toru. And the two-upper into the hand of Jeffries. Here is Struther. Happy to play off ball at the moment.
Had a real good opportunity there. They thought the double was coming, didn't give it.
Struther short, offensive, two-upper. And here comes the strip, foot race. And Batty nervously sticks that one in to tie this ball game up.
A couple of good opportunities there on offense from Hamilton boys that failed to execute.
Switch there from Rosmini, still a short roll there for Jeffries. Struther, oh my goodness, with the Kuruwhiwhi Toru.
Yeah, sweet stroke there from Struther.
Anderson from the mid-range. Off back iron and into the hands of Struther with the two-upper. Up 3.
Huge defensive possession there from Hamilton. Stopping the score after hitting a 3 is really important.
Zion shows Struther. Rip and go to the hoop and 1. Chris Wiley just got caught flat-footed, and Hemi Neal never hesitated in what he was going to do when he caught the ball. As we have another look at it here on the replay. Go and in.
While he might feel a little aggrieved at the moment, there's been a few wraparounds trying to hit the ball back from behind the player on himself there, and he thought he might have got away with it, but no, and a big lead here in the terms of things with a 6-point lead.
To pass there, going to be Rosmini ball. Are they going to run a play here? No. Into an on ball. Wiley to Wiley connection. Baseline drives cut off. Struther couldn't come up with the steal. Batty in the corner. Off the right iron. Another opportunity. Zion up fakes. Here is Wiley. Somehow finds Jakovsky. And what a finish from the young man.
Lots of distortion of the zone going on there, but they're not taking advantage of what they've done by keeping spacing. Not been the inability to hit the wide open shot.
Struther, the hot man. Timeout straight away, Matt Lacey.
He has not had a problem hitting the open shot, or with a hand in his face, for that matter.
Yeah, he's knocking down shots and down the stretch. That's really important, and Rosmini are not adjusting to the fact that Struther is tearing it up right now.
In terms of Rosmini's defensive adjustment, face guarding and then just guarding everyone else straight up? Or what adjustment do you look at?
So, like sometimes you just got to pay a little extra attention. You can't help off a guy that's getting hot like that. There's a couple of different things that Rosmini could do, but a couple of times they've just been a hand down or a little late trying to pick him up in transition. So just the attention to detail needs to be really, really good, particularly in this situation with just under 3 to play. You know, it's still a close, it's still anyone's ball game. So if they can get Strother, make sure that he doesn't get another clean look. I mean, he's had so many. And so right now, even if you've got a hand up, he's feeling pretty good.
Hamilton boys.
Rosa firstly have to come out and score. They have to score against this zone. Otherwise, Hamilton boys are going to have basically a comfortable win. They don't have to do too much. And then put a bit of pressure on to create some turnovers. But in doing that, you might leave them wide open again.
Josh Wiley allowed to let the ball run out the over half court. Full 24 in the front court in great hands from Mason Wiltshire.
He's had a number of deflections and steals this game, using his length very well.
Josh Wiley up the top, finds Batty in the corner. That lane closed down very quickly. Chris Wiley from the other corner leaves that short. Batty looking for Anderson. Doesn't have the hand up though. Josh Wiley drive up and over and draws the Hara. Happy with the spacing there, Brent?
Might have fouled out there. That's a big thing there for Tukuruhi Jeffries. Yeah. It's been playing so well, dominant force in the post down there.
That is
controlling the middle.
I'm sure the bench hold up that paddle. That would be your job tomorrow on the bench.
Hopefully,
holding up,
yeah. Hopefully, hold up the paddles.
Holding up that paddle, and you could see him. He knew. He got that foul and started walking straight to the bench.
So you had to make new paddles for the Tauihi. Make a number 6.
They didn't make a number 6.
Yeah.
Converts the second, 63-57. Foul called on Josh Batty. That's going to be Rosmini's 4th. So one more now, they're in the bonus. And as well, clock's going to stop after any basket in the last 2 minutes. Here's Strother. And Regan Ashley just asking the game to hold up for a second.
Give me a chance to shout out to one of my old teammates, Byron Vaitoa, who's just sent a message through on to Miles. One of the most silky smooth players to ever play. And says the word Hawaii better than anybody I know.
Nearly half-court trap there from Rosmini. It's messy underneath the hoop. Which way is that going to go? Rosmini basketball. 2 minutes to play.
If you are lucky enough, Frankie Mulvihill might put make a T-shirt, a triple threat T-shirt with you on it. I know I've seen one with BV on it.
Wow.
We might need a Matahidi one.
There you go. Maybe I've got to get another championship to be triple.
There you go.
Here's Josh Wiley on the right wing. Fake double team from Hamilton boys. Zion with the up fake. Wiley for 3. Kurufifi Tonu is good. 63-60. And called Rosmini ball.
Huge situation.
Big call here. Big call there.
So it looks like time's going back on the clock.
Yeah.
4 seconds have just gone back in. As we have another look at that on the action replay. Tough to call.
I'd like another look. We might have a bit of time here. They wipe the floor. Yeah. Maybe Regan got it right. Looks like he's tipped it down onto the Hamilton Boys High School hand. Coach Ricky Strother wasn't a little bit frustrated with the call, but most about the floated pass.
A little bit of moisture on the court on the near side.
There's a lot of work being done.
I know a lot of the Moppets are actually from Rosmini College for the Breakers in the AMBL. Maybe he's putting in his application to get to do it for season 2023-2024.
Just means you're getting free, right?
Okay.
This means you're getting free in the court side.
Oh, so you'll go do that?
Mate.
And what a great roster is Zion Anderson score underneath. What a great roster the Breakers have put together. Catching some of the NBL blitz this year has been just some fantastic basketball being played all around.
I love the idea of keeping it on the Gold Coast as well, moving forward. Looks like that's going to be an option. Wiltshire, a lot of time. Put back again is good. Daniel Ormsby. Big basket for Hamilton boys. Anderson up the top. Steps through.
Zion Anderson, I don't think, has shot a 3 tonight, but everyone has jumped at his fake every time he catches that ball.
Gets the steal. 2-on-1 becomes 1-on-1. Great wall up, but a good finish. Back to 1 point, 48 seconds to play.
Maybe 3 possessions.
I remember a Tall Blacks game, 04 Olympics. The last 48 seconds took 8
Coach
minutes.
just called a timeout on a make here.
Strava, Kurufifi Toru, offensive rebound and a reset of the shot clock.
Wiltshire, huge offensive rebound.
And that's going to be free throws.
OT, overtime.
It's past my bedtime.
He's called the timeout early.
Trying to ice the free throw shooter.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it worked in 2016.
Too soon.
Still too soon.
Still too soon. I usually have therapy about that.
That's what talking to us about, right? We just bring it up over and over again. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. It's okay.
That was a heck of a game and
a heck of a shot.
Heck of a shot, heck of a play. You know, Callum McRae was huge in that game. Hayes Walker, Oscar Oswald, Jack Henry. You know, we had some guys in that squad that have gone on to do some really cool things. Zeke Smiler is now one of the producers on Hoopheads. You know, his love of the game, and it's great to see some of these guys that you coach and just grow up and grow into just wonderful young men. So, got a couple of dads out of that group now. So it's just really cool to be a part of and see some of that as well.
Barnstormer here in 2023. 1 point game, free throws to come.
It's day one. It's still day one.
And there's so many close games on day one. Not normal, right?
No, not normal. Not normal. And there were a couple of blowouts, but there's been some fantastic basketball. It's really cool to see as we see.
And it worked.
Hemi Neal, this is the first.
This will make it interesting.
This is the second rebound, Jakovsky.
1 possession.
Do you hold or do you go for it? Biggest thing is you need to put the shot up. Anderson.
He thought about it.
Fight for the rebound. Betty. Out of bounds. Rosmini still has a timeout.
Coach Lacey takes that timeout.
I thought he called the last one.
He did. He had 2 left.
Thought he had burnt 2.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, no, I thought he had burnt 2, like on the 2 runs, but anyway.
Okay.
Oh, no, score bench will know.
There we go.
That'll be me tomorrow.
Yeah.
With the St Margaret's and Hastings girls. I might get yelled at.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You've never yelled at anyone during your playing or coaching career?
Who are we speaking about? The players, the officials, the score bench?
Anyone in general.
The crowd.
Teammates.
Apparently I don't know if it's yelling. I say it's not yelling. It's my voice projecting.
There we go. Yeah. There we go.
What are they cooking up?
We'll have to check in with BV about that.
Yeah. Here we go. What are we talking? Shot with about 3 seconds to go. Give yourself a chance of an offensive rebound. Looking for something 3 seconds.
Yeah, don't go too soon.
Are Hamilton boys going to stay in the 1-3-1 zone, or are they going to actually match up?
I mean, that's a good question.
In this situation, the 1-3-1's been so effective for them, but you might give up a corner 3, which is not the thing you want to do. Not that Rosmini needs a 3.
I mean, yeah.
Matt Lacey's usual run on this is a baseline drive with the corner 3 on the weak side.
But a hammer.
Yeah.
A hammer pass.
The hammer option.
The Bailey sign gets pushed back a little bit.
Let's see, Josh Spatty looks like he's about to go to the corner. There he goes. Finds Josh Wiley to the hoop with the left hand off the rim. Struthers going to dribble this one out. And Hamilton boys on day 1 have taken down 4-time defending finalist Rosmini College, 65-64.
And that is huge. Day 1, and you know, with the new system, I think both these teams have got a shot at going through and playing in crossovers and getting to quarterfinals. So absolutely huge. And just to confirm, Brent Matahaere was the best teammate to have. Thank you, Byron Vaitoe.
It's because I bought the lunch after I lost the shooting drills. Well, nā toa, nā tama o kirikiriroa, mihi atu ki a koutou. So Hamilton boys, the victors.
From myself, Andrew Horrocks, Miles Pearce, Brent Matahaere, producer Rich, camerawoman Jess, thank you so much for joining us on the evening of day 1. If that is a taste of what's to come, my voice is not making it to day 6. We will catch you tomorrow from 12:30. Don't forget as well, we're going to have 2 courts operating. We'll have the schedule up on the BBNZ website shortly. We'll see you tomorrow.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this isn't about what we wore back in the day.
we're going to go now. Going once, going twice, no more offers. Sold!
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
I just want to thank New Zealand Carbon Farming for taking the initiative and supporting schools like ours.
It's really important they have that outlet to come to kura for another reason other than curriculum, and for some reason in our water our kids just breathe sport, and having that resource here makes life that much more enjoyable and they can keep doing what they're good at.
Having this funding, being able to use it specifically targeting sport is hugely beneficial.